symbol at the start, just so I can double check that we actually are live. I just need to double check. I should learn every. Oh, there we go. We are okay. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome. We're going to be playing some Distant Worlds 2 today. This is version 1.2.2.0, which, what does it mean? It means it hasn't been updated for a few months now, actually. So this is actually the stable version of the game. There is a big update coming, and I'm assuming there'll be a big update along with the Shakturi DLC in about a month's time. So we're still about a month away before we start to see other changes to the game. And there are going to be some pretty amazing changes, like outposts and things like this that will then come with that particular release. I say release rather than DLC or update because I'm not sure where the split is, like what will be part of the free base game or what will be part of the Shakturi edition. So I'm not exactly sure what will be added into which portions of the game at that point. Anyway, we're going to, and it's a major change with what's going to be coming at that time. So yeah, I really don't know where the split actually is. I thought I'd actually just do a live stream today, and I know this is not my usual time, so I don't think we'll have that many people watching. But if you are watching and you have any questions, please sing out and ask away, and I'll do my best to answer what's going on. What I wanted to do was actually just show where the game is, what's happening with it, rather than start a new game, because that's what I always do. I always start a new game, and I only ever get to fight the pirates. I'm actually now in a mid-game game that I've been playing on Twitch for the last week, and so I think now's a good time to maybe sort of show something a little bit more involved with what's going on in the game. So I'll spend a fair bit of time. So if you are watching this after I've finished doing the live stream, then by all means, feel free to skim past if you don't really want to have like the summary of actually where we are and what the concerns that we actually have. Hi Tenru, how you going? Saying hey Dad, it's been a while. It has been a while. So we'll start a new, we won't start a new game. What we'll do is we'll continue a game. I might show everything, so maybe we do go through and show how the game was started, but then just open her up. So let's actually, one thing I do need to do is I always forget the start date. So let's just go into start a new game in here. This one, we won't be playing this one, but this is essentially the setup that we have. You've got all sorts of different galaxy shapes or galaxy layouts. In this case, we've gone with a dual ring but no center. So we've got like a ring cluster through here, another ring cluster further out. And you'll see that when we get into the game that we're playing in just a small portion of this inner ring. That's all we are playing on at this point in time. We've been playing for quite some time. 1,000 stars total. Nebula density is normal, which is sort of like the choke points in space. The galaxy size is an 8x8, so it goes up to 10x10 is the largest. The other things we're doing is we're playing with a young, meaning that everyone starts with 2 to 4 colonies and has had to build up from there. Level 1 tech level, so we're still going through the level 1 techs, to be honest. And the galaxy aggression is unstable, which means that they're going to be fairly aggressive, how aggressive the computer players are in the game. And we've certainly had war after war after war that we've had to contend with so far. The difficulty is only on normal. Now, when we go into it, you probably won't believe that normal is giving us the difficult time that it actually is, because we do have some difficulties we have to contend with. So we'll have a look at that one. But what happens in here is it puts hostile races. You can have just the normal amount, which is sort of like more just random, won't be that many, or you can actually then start to seed more of the aggressive races close to you. And so I went with some more, and this is actually our difficulty setting more so than the actual difficulty itself. I love this. I love the way you can personalize not exactly how you want to play the game, not exactly how you're going to set up the game, but how you're going to then play with the different sorts of challenges. So for us, the challenges was to have some aggression nearby that we have to then deal with all the way through the game. Research speed is just going to be set to normal. We can only see the next projects, and we do actually have random research paths. Tech trading is on, but so far in the game we haven't been able to do any tech trading whatsoever. Threats, this is mainly pirates and bugs, space creatures. So in this case, we just got them on normal, but they are strong. They're an average distance away from us at the start, and then they stay dead when they get killed. Now, in the early part of the game, the pirates play a massive role in what you do, and so I tend to gear things up for that. We have now progressed beyond the pirates being a threat to us. So we now are in a position where there's still pirates around, but I just haven't had time to finish them off. But they're not really causing me any issues. So so the pirates are sort of like an early game threat. We're now beyond that. Space creatures have just been on few. I haven't had too many of those. So these don't really give you much. Anyway, we'll continue on. Colonization. Everything on average in through here. This is your border, colony influence range, which would almost say something like border in there as well, just so you know. So the circle of influence circles that are projected out from colonies. So yeah, colony influence. I guess it tells you there. Colony influence determines your empire territory, and which star systems belong to your empire. So if we're not at war with someone, we can't build inside their territory. So it defines our territory, and this is based on our on how developed our colonies actually are. Then that's what pushes it out. And then we've got the colonization range limit at just 150m, which is half the normal. 300m is the usual, and then we have this one through here. Hi, Richard Phillips, how are you going? Saying, have you checked out Civ 7? No, I haven't actually. I've seen some videos. I haven't really watched them. I do mean to keep on contacting for access to see if I can get sort of in and test the game out, but I haven't actually done anything, no. So I really can't comment on that game. Our race, we are playing as the Mortalens, back in through here. We did play randomly, which is why it was selected randomly back in through there. And so the Mortalens, while some species look to their future, the Mortalens look to their past, but it would be a mistake to see their traditional ways as a weakness. The Mortalens value honour, loyalty and victory above all, making them desirable friends and terrible enemies. We are sort of like, we are the reptilians. We are essentially like the strongest troops in the galaxy, essentially. So you should do this controversy. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know about any controversy with Civ 7. So anyway, there's a lot of different things that have now come in, special features about each faction, or not all of them. So they're going back and retrospectively adding some of these. And Mortalens is one that has actually had things added to it. So we've got a fair few different sorts of things into here, different sorts of traits. We've got unique techs, for example, down through here, disallowed techs, which usually just mean that you can't grab other text because you're doing this. Race victory conditions and through there as well. We'll get into this when we get into the actual game itself. But for us, the biggest thing is that we actually do have our Conqueror forces are the best infantry in the galaxy. So Richard's saying, do you like ages? No, I don't, actually. I don't like the ages in Civ. I prefer games without ages. So that's something that I know that they were changing leaders for each age, but I don't. Yeah, the ages is the one thing about Civ that I've never really warmed to. I've sort of always. That's one of the reasons I just don't enjoy it that much. I prefer just not to be ages. Anyway, next is our government. Now, what we ended up choosing for us is we ended up with a military dictatorship. And the interesting thing here is we end up with a few different sorts of things in through this other side, but we do end up with these coup d'etats, which actually then create a massive disruption in this is every 60 years. So we need to sort of find out what's going on through there. Aries is saying, is Distant Worlds done with early access and DLC? I don't want to buy it until it's completely complete. It is. Okay, that's a really good question. That's a really, really good question. Yeah, was it done with early access? No, it never was. It was fully released, and it should have been early access. And it should have been, I would say now, it's like release ready with where it currently is. And that now that they're starting to sort of build the DLCs, actually even now there's still other things they're adding into it. So it's still not feature complete, to be honest. And but it will be. It's certainly incredibly playable, but it shouldn't have launched as a release game. It should have released as an early access game, like in my opinion. I feel quite strongly about that. I felt strongly about it at the time as well, thinking this is a mistake. They shouldn't have. They really did need to launch that as a early access game. I don't think you lose much by releasing things as early access and then just really making sure that you're on top of everything. I mean, look at some of the great early access games like Dwarf Fortress or the zombie one, I forget what it's called now, that's been going for, 12, 13 years. Like it's not really an impediment when you've got a game that just keeps on evolving. And certainly Distant Worlds 2 has evolved a lot since it did launch, but it shouldn't have been a full launch. We're just saying, I think you finally maybe understand this game, that it is really a simulator. Yes, that's really the key to it. It really is a simulation at its core, where you then have things that you then get involved in. So we've got things, for example, the startup situation. We have improved escorts, system patrol ships, and shock forces. Essentially, it's the starting thing you have as a military dictatorship. Now, that's not Mortalen only. There's a whole lot of different other races that can sort of do things with this. But one thing it does do is it gives us negative population growth. We end up with our overall research is usually a little bit poor, except for weapons research. It's not really impacting that all that much. The Mortalens certainly have, if I go back, the Mortalens have some negatives to do with different bits and pieces. Yeah, weapons research goes up even more. Armor goes up by plus 30. Yeah, actually, that's not too bad. That's not too bad in there. Anyway, this is we'll see this when we get into the actual game itself. So we're not one of the... military dictatorship is an autocratic form of absolute rule that is unrestricted by law, constitutions, and other social and political factors. So it's an interesting one, this one here. So anyway, we'll continue on. Starting situation, we pretty much started in the inner ring. That's sort of pretty much what we had set up when we did it. And the other empires, we had it set to 14. Victory conditions, we sort of left it all on, but it did turn off the race-specific story events because these then push the game in a very direct way, and I'd prefer not to have that. So I prefer to have it completely open. I'll just start the game so we can actually just get a list of a starting date, because we need to look at that 60 years and figure out when that's going to kick in, because it's getting close. I might have to go and get a few other things with that, because we can expect civil wars when that actually hits, and I'm guessing that may happen during this particular session. By the way, so I've been playing this particular game for the last week on my Twitch channel, and I thought I'd actually bring it across now because I'm out of all my wars, so this is actually just the start of a completely new game. So 2754 is the actual date. I should write that down. So 2754. So that's the actual start date of the game itself. Let's just now get back out of here and exit to main menu, and we'll just go and load in our actual game. We'll just go back out to the start. So we're going to continue a game. This is the Morton Legionary, we're now in 2793. So now that's 60 years on from 54. We're looking at we've still got 10 years before the coup d'etat occurs. So we actually do. So we're getting close. In 2814 is going to be when the actual when the coup d'etat is likely to actually sort of come back through. Which is then sort of saying, have you played Songs of Six? I haven't played much of it. Reminds me of that. Have you looked into Stellaris DLC? No, I haven't played Stellaris for a long time. Bit cynical about Stellaris DLC, says Richard. I haven't played much Stellaris for a good couple of years, so I sort of know what Stellaris is like. I've been mainly playing, like in my Space 4Xs, mainly playing Distant Worlds 2, Gal Civ I absolutely love, and also now the Sins of a Solar Empire 2 as well is amazing. Like, that's an incredible game, but very, very different to this particular game. So anyway, we're going to go and continue our current game. So we're now 10 years, we've been playing for 50 years game time in this particular run. So let me just talk through about what's where and what's actually happening through here. So when we have a look at the actual, this is the system, and we saw there before the 2 rings. You can see I'm only really looking at a small selection in here. This is us in here. And so we're only really looking at this at this point in time. We don't know anything at all about this. Now, one of the things we may need to find is who is here, who's on this side. Is there another faction that can help us against this faction here? This faction is winning the game essentially. These are the only ones we're actually aware of. If we have a bit of a look around, what we have is we've got a group of actually that's interesting. That's a group of Teekans back over through there. But that's not the... there's a Dayuts back out and through here somewhere. They must be in here somewhere, the Dayots, I think. I wouldn't be so. I think that that's a Dayot, like that's been captured by the Dayots, but it is Tikans. Interesting. I haven't really had a good look at this side of things. Dayots are maybe I'll just go through each faction and we'll talk about the different groups that we can see on the actual on here. And if I click on this, we'll then sort of see who is in control. We'll start with ourselves. So we're in the middle through here. We're the Gizzarines. We're the Mortalens. We're the reptilians, and so we've got this central area through here. And we've been expanding slowly through the game. We've got two neighbours who have been aggressive with us. One very aggressive. This is the Mortalens Star Alliance, which is a group of humans. And they've got a very, very close ally, the Caputus Coalition Republic. And these are Actarians. These are like, they're sort of aquatic factions. Very good at research, very good at fightercraft, is what the Caputus have. The humans are sort of good at all sorts of different things, so they've sort of been a real thorn in our side. We've been at war with them maybe 5 or 6 times, I think. And we've just finished a war with them. We've just finished a war with the Caputus. So we've literally, at where we've stopped this one, we've still got remnant fleets inside that were coming in to do attacks, for example. This is actually a human fleet that's just finished as well. It's now moving back away from this world of ours, Bexton's. So Bexton's is moving off. We've got a couple of fleets in here as well. And so this is essentially, they've been like, well, 2 of the major thorns in our side. These are two people that don't like us at all. You can see there with the, we've got no treaties, but we've also then have, you can see there, we actually can't do anything with them. We recently ended a war with this faction, literally 0 years ago. So declaring war with this faction now would severely damage our reputation. We can do it, but we don't want to. Now, with them, you can see with the humans, their war weariness is -64. They've been at war with us and with the Ikaru, which are back over through here, which they should be friendly with, to be honest. Like that typically would be a friendly relationship between these two, but they've been at war as well long before the last war that we had with the humans. And so our war weariness is -10 because of the wars that we've been in, but theirs is -64, which is really, really high. So they're really in a poor position through there. So yeah, it's too soon since our last negotiations to speak with them. If we look at the Caputus we just finished with as well. So we recently ended a war with this faction, only like 0.1 years ago, so a month ago. Declaring war on this faction now would also severely damage our reputation. And so in this case, we do actually have a system where we automatically are looking to conquer them. And it should be the same with the Mothala. Yeah, they're also set automatically to conquer. I can override these as well. Like the game, it has a lot of overrides. Then we've got the as we sort of come back through, the Perseus are back over through here. Now these have been fairly friendly, but they're -20 with us now, so they're displeased with us. But they have. I've put befriend and I've changed this to manual, just because they seem to be happy enough with us. And you can see there we've got like a negative rust factor of +2.2, so it's trending upwards a little bit per year. Our poor reputation is impacting them. Our reputation is -10.6, and so you can see what's actually impacting their reputation, and this changes slowly over time. And so in this case, we've got the our spies have been intercepted and like doing insidious things, and so that's there's a -0.4 with that one. We did attack military ships that we weren't at war with for a -0.9. This is all rusting away now. Colony bombardment. We did actually bombard one of the human worlds just to soften it up before an invasion. And we did attack civilian ships at -7.9. So this has come down from about -70. And it's sort of like the rust factor on that one is sort of pushing it backwards so that we're not as much a pariah as what we once were. The war weariness you can see through there, -10.5. It will slowly dissipate as well over time. So we're sort of waiting for that to happen. So we're out of all the wars now. So this will now move away. So that's the so just going back through. That's the Perseus autonomous. These are Xenox. These sort of live on frozen worlds. Next, we have our biggest enemy that we're going to have in the game. This is really going to be the most difficult thing for us to deal with, which is the Yagdol Chitin Consortium. And so this one here is, we recently ended a war with this faction 1.8 years ago. And declaring a war on this faction now would mildly damage our reputation. It wouldn't be terrible. You can see they've got 0 war weariness, which is a real worry for us because they can become aggressive whenever they feel like it. They've only got a dubious reputation. They've just got general incidences giving them a negative 2.1. So they're not even hated yet. They are really dominating the game. So these are sort of all over the place. We then actually have the Dayots, which these are insectoids, by the way. Then we've got the Dayots are also insectoids. Each of that is part of the Dayot group. So they've actually got some Tekans inside their territory. If you go and click on that one through there, no war weariness, but they're just now at war with the Caputus Coalition Republic. And so there's a war started through here, and this planet here has been invaded time and time again. So I'm assuming that will happen again this time. We have softened up the Caputus, so the Dayots, and I don't really want the Dayots to get any stronger than what they are. I want to take over the homeworlds in through here. Take this homeworld, take this planet eventually. I might wait till after the coup before we allow that to happen. We're not seeing anything else in there about these guys. We're not really seeing any Tekan presence. Often you'll sort of see that at the top here if there's different factions involved. Like if we go across to Caputus, they actually have, I've got an ambassador there. Our ambassador is improving the relations with them. Mothala, we've got an ambassador. Perseus. Actually, we haven't got an ambassador there. I might send an ambassador out to them, actually. Oh, hang on, there is an ambassador there. Oh, hang on, we're looking at the wrong location. We're looking at the location back over here, I think. Yeah, we're looking at the Mothala Star Alliance there. Anyway, then we continue on down. We've got the Darban Serenity. Now, this is actually interesting here because this is the these should be an enemy of ours, but they've actually been fighting the humans, which is interesting. There's another group of Xenox back over this other side, but it's this Chitin one down in here that is really the problem. And they almost took over the Zero system from us in the last war. They completely dominated our ships into the point where we just couldn't compete at all. In that war, in that, I don't think we can find a summary of what the actual war was. I don't think. No, I'm not seeing it there. I'm not seeing anything that's going to sort of help us. The declarations of war in through there, but not the actual ending of war. So with that one there, we had 2 fleets that were completely smashed. And if we go back, the 7th is sort of like one fleet which has now just been rebuilt. This one was the fleet that they completely they basically completely destroyed this particular fleet. And also the 5th is also just being rebuilt. And so I've got 2 different classes of fleets that I'm using, or 3 actually. I'm using defense fleets, which are sort of smallish fleets, only made up of frigates and escorts, just to do the basic defense of planets, like just in a very, very basic fashion. I've got no fleets at all. This is actually one of the Actarian fleets back in through here, which is must have been coming across to raid us in the war. So it's now heading back home. But this was something where I do need to go back and get a big presence back in here. So I need to cover the front for if these guys get aggressive again. All of our forces have been pushed into the north to fight these 2. And now this war is now finished. Now we need to go back down in here and start to protect this. But we have a little bit of work to do because our fleets just can't compete with the Gizarian ships. So we'll do that one first. We also have another thing, the Dysum Star Alliance, which is... where is that one? I'm not exactly sure where that is. I'm assuming it's over here somewhere, or... Yeah, I'm just not sure. We've got the Principality there. It should show up. If there's pirates in there as well, and there's pirates back over here, which I would like to kill off once and for all, but I'm not sure where the other humans are. And then we've got some more bugs up through here, the Cyllenia Colonial Empire. which these are Boscaras. These are usually the most dangerous, but the Gizareans in recent times, from what people are sort of saying with who they end up finding ends up really taking the game by storm. That the Gizareans are another insectoid group which really do dominate. They grow very, very quickly. So we'll have to start to eradicate them as we go through. So let's have another quick drink. Now we've got Derner is saying very naughty, Daz. I'm not sure what that was about. And CDN is saying they'll be updating forever. Then this game is awesome. It is awesome. It is an awesome game. It's incredible, actually. It's incredible. Aries is saying I should lately only play old games or games that have completely stopped being developed. I feel it's a waste of my time to do otherwise. I've come to loathe the forever in development paradox live service model. Attacking of civilian ships and whatnot, says Derner there. Yes, we sort of did that. I should actually, I'll try to do a deep dive into all the different decision-making things that we have to consider. So one thing we have to do is we have to analyse why we performed so poorly against the Gizareans and try to fix that in all of our ships. So we've got a lot of retrofitting to do. Which is sort of saying, actually, you want games that are still being developed and updated, but it's also important to understand that they have been developed to the point of being playable. So this game is definitely in that category where there's improvements being made, but it really is now a very, very polished game. And as was said before, you've really got to have the mindset that you're playing a simulator and not you're not trying to micromanage everything. Every one of these little dots is a spaceship. As you can see through here. If you tried to micromanage all of that, you'd do your head in. It would be mind-blowingly complex. And we've got ships all over the place, including way out through here, for example. This is like a transporter, just transporting colonists around to different places, like tourists and things. A lot of these would just be freighters, so these are coming back in to pick up or drop off certain goods from different locations. So it's got its own economy, and you don't want to get in the middle of it. I like to keep it on where I can see these lines that sort of naturally form. Like there's a lot of ships in here, for example, but we don't have a colony out here. So there's a lot of transport going back and forwards between Cassiopeia Rift and our homeworld. Our homeworld is back in through here, and so that makes it fairly interesting just to sort of see the way that the game is simulating the economy, and actually, it's running the economy. So what we might start with is maybe we'll have a quick look at the research. I guess we'll go through that way to start with. And so at the moment, I've got long-range scanners, and the wars that we've been fighting are to try to get long-range scanners. We really need these desperately so we can have early warning systems. And at the moment, we don't actually have any early warning system anywhere. We did actually have a pirate base that we took over in here, which was giving us the early warnings from when the Gizareans were attacking us, but they destroyed that. So there's all the infrastructure in the Zero system has now disappeared. There's still remnant, as I said before, remnant fleets that are coming back through of the Actarians, but they'll move off fairly soon. We've just started to build another spaceport in through here, and we do need to get a strong presence in this location for a couple of reasons. The main one is to defend against these guys when they become aggressive, but also so we can go and take out these pirate bases. I do want to get rid of them once and for all. So I sort of want to just have them moved off. This is interesting. That's interesting. There's a ship there. What is that? Oh, a planet shatterer, planet destroyer. Okay, well that's interesting. So we've got this is actually something we've come across a planet destroyer ship that's basically just sitting there. Incredible strength. I forget this, like what happens about this. This is an abandoned ship, but it's in a nebula. And we're probably in the best position to make use of that. I hadn't seen that before. That's interesting, and that's like a incredibly strong ship if we can get hold of it. That's this has got like a massive weapon. It's damage control unit is out at this stage. This is all the weaponry it has on board. It's got heaps. different Titan blasters and things. Actually, some of these have been destroyed. The super laser is the massive laser that it actually has in the middle there, just doing incredible damage. Anything that gets hit by this thing is going to be absolutely destroyed. Gosh, do I send in a ship to try to take it? I think I will, actually. It's a little way away. I don't see any trouble with it. Yeah, so you found a Death Star. Pretty much, yes. So Tenere is saying, is there a tech that negates the nebula slows? Sort of, later on, but not where we can see it in our tech tree at this stage. Anyway, let's just go back into the tech tree. So long-range scanners is what we desperately want, and we are crashing the research of this one, which means we're doing it twice as fast, and it's secure. The trouble we've had is that it requires, you can see there with the extra requirements, if I click on it, no, it won't stay there. You see it, like it's got the plus 26% research speed for this project is the important thing that we actually have at the top. And there's another less than a year to research this particular one. The extra requirements, there's a threshold of 22%. So, and we're at 26, so we're above the threshold. If ever we drop below that threshold, it stops researching it. We've been trying to research this thing forever. And I'll explain why and how that we're sort of dealing with that one. We've got 26%, 17% from sensor research, and 9% from all research. So we've got like 9% is giving us a boost to everything, and 17 from just specific sensor research. And this is actually a big difference between this game and the original game. The original like Distant Worlds didn't split things up with any sort of nuance. And what this means is that if we don't have the 22%, we end up with things like this, where sorry, not like that. I'll try to find something else where we don't actually have it. Large cargo storage. This one requires also 22 industrial research, and we don't have it. We've got 12%. And so we've got, we've got 11%, 3 from industrial research and 9 from the all research. The all research gives us that other bonus. And then we've got large storage in through here. So these two we can't do, but they're not super critical. But getting long-range scanners for us is really, really important. Where was it? I've lost it again now. Oh, there it is there. So if we don't have the 22%, we can't get this other than by stealing it. And at the moment, I can't find anyone else that's got it. So it's actually really is quite interesting with the way that sort of does work. So we're focusing very heavily on trying to get this before we lose the ability to actually get the research. And so if I exit out of the research, excuse me, and have a look at the actual, what we actually have through here, we've got like the different research stations in through here, and one of them is a 13% sensor research back in through here for Ingus Research Station, which you see when it highlights, it's that one there. And we've only just taken it, and I needed to take that one before we ended the war. So that one was, for me, critical, that we would actually then go and grab that one and have it for ourselves, just to get the extra sensor research so we could get above that threshold. And so I didn't want to end the war until we had control of that. And so we've sent 2 fleets in which only just got it. So there's fleets in here that have just taken this thing over. So we're now getting the bonus, which is why we can now do that particular research. So there's this this station here, which is in a bad state of disrepair, as you can sort of see, down to 38% of its hull. A lot of things destroyed, but we do get the bonus now from the sensor research, and the sensor research is coming from Eni, which is it's got a 13% sensor research ability. So even though this is inside the human territory, we've taken it over. We've finished the war, but we now stay in control of this particular research station. If we lose that research station or the ability to do any of the other research, we're going to then sort of falter a little bit. Now we've got the research bonus amounts. We can see how we're getting this one. So we've got sensor research. We've got a base sensor research here of 17%. And you can see there we've got 5% from someone called Jürgen Hakra, who is actually one of our scientists. We go to our scientists. Jürgen Hakra is researching at the R research facility, but he actually has sensor research of plus 5%. So he's actually giving us a little bit of a bonus in through there. He also gives us 3 of our industrial research as well. We also found a scientist in here, which was with the all research of 5%. And this is why the all research is critical, because it goes everywhere. And so we actually had captured this one. He was at the Bexton's Research Centre, I think he was. And so we ended up with him actually coming in, and we captured him when we sort of raided one of their research centres, and then it cost us 100,000, but we eventually got him to come and join our side. So we've only got 2 scientists, which is poor usually in the game. So we've only got the 2, but we do have enough in these critical areas. So we're getting, for all research, we've got 5 with this one, and we must be getting another one with all research. There it is there. We've got the human race. So the humans also give us a bit of a bonus as well. We're getting plus 3% essentially from the humans, applied at 66% back and through here because we now have a human planet there and a human planet in here. So we've got we've got 5.5 billion humans in that planet, and 2 and a bit billion humans on that planet there. The Mortalens system was the home world of the humans, but they've got a massive world here, which is now their new home world, 26 billion on that particular home world. If they go back to war with us, we're going to need to take this world, and then that really would just leave them with a 8 billion, I think, in through here. So there's just a small world, 8 billion in that one there. Okay, so how different are the texts between species? So this area is very, very different. Very different. Each species has got for example, if we go and have a look at the Gizzerians, if we press F1, you end up with the compendium, which is this Galactopedia. So if I press F1 and just turn off the game concepts, if I go, for example, to alien races, and then go down to something like the Gizzerians, and we can then sort of see what their benefits actually are. So there's all sorts of different stuff. They have an all research of negative 10%. We don't have that. So they don't research well. So these are actually really quite poor at getting through their research unless they can do it in a sneaky way, which is what the Gizzerians do. And so their diplomacy is bad as well, but their all research is dramatically massive in terms of research. You can see they've got troop research of plus 10, but that is that's counted by the all research. Things like that, for example. But what they do end up having is they've got different sorts of things in through here. Where is it? Waste nothing. 25% increased chance of tech boosts when salvaging or retiring a ship with advanced tech. So in the early part of the game, they'll be capturing pirate ships, and they'll be then pulling them apart, or anything at all that they'll be able to salvage. So they salvage incredibly well. Additional tech boost when completely retire an advanced ship. And so the early part of the game for them is quite good because they can keep up with the tech, not by research, but by salvage. And so they play very, very differently. And this is the group that we have down the bottom through here, which is are quite advanced. They've actually got more advanced tech than what we've got because they've been pulling apart tech from ships. And so they've actually been really, really sort of accelerating. If we go and have a look at the Boscara, for example, which is another bug, the bugs are typically bad at research. And so if we have a look at their abilities, where is it? We've got weapons research. Actually, it's not. They don't have negatives there, which is interesting. These ones usually start off with where is it? Starting tech. She's not there. I thought they started off usually with the long-range scanners. They may have changed that. I thought that they did. But they, So they don't. Their tech is fairly sort of average. They do weapon tech advantages. That's about it really. Things like the Actarians, which are the aquatics, should actually have like all research of plus 5%. So they do well. The all research is really like a multiplier across so many different things. The humans will also then have. This is why we're getting an all research of 66% of their plus 5 because of the planets that we actually do have. So that's the bonuses that they actually have. Other ones that are of interest, the Teekans I think have got a bit of a negative. No, they just don't have any bonuses anywhere. The Mortalens, as I said before, we don't have any negatives, but we do actually have bonuses to weapons and armor. With what we sort of end up doing, we're fairly, supposed to be sort of fairly aggressive. But other things as well, like that's the races, but then you've got the government types as well. These are the different government types, and so we started off as a military dictatorship, and so this one does give us like this should be weapons research goes up by a lot, troop research goes up. Not seeing a negative there overall for research. But the way that they've done set the research up now with these 22% and things like this makes it quite difficult to actually get certain tech, unless you find the stations or the scientists that are going to give you the boosts. So capturing scientists for us would be awesome. I don't think we've got any prisoners. Have a quick look and see. We've got a fair few prisoners that are we've got spies, admirals, ambassadors. These are all the people that we've captured in the wars. So we can try to bring these across if we had to. We can use them as for diplomacy as well. I can try to sort of return them for other things. So I'll just keep them where they are. But in the characters, we've got everyone else where they need to be. We've got the ambassadors. We've got an ambassador here. We've got a couple of ambassadors just waiting. This is, I'm just going to change some of these. This one here is a human that joined us. I'm going to set this one up as just a manual so that I'm in control of where they go. We've got the Caputus, the Agdol. Let's just bring the others in as well. These, we don't know what their skill levels are with these unknown ones. If we just go and give them a location. So we've got the Cyllenia Colonial Empire. Let's send one of them off to there. We'll just do the transfer and just set that one to manual. That way it won't decide to go anywhere else. And then we've got this one as well. Aberglotto is actually our homeworld. We just sort of see that one through there. Now we've already got one there. We've got one there. We've got one in all of these. So there's nowhere for us to send these really. I'll just leave that one back where it is. Maybe I'll send it off back to the. Let's move it off to the humans, to the Mothalar Star Alliance. So we've got two ambassadors going there. And I just want to see what the skills are that we can actually get from this one here. All right, so that sort of gives us a bit of a summary as to why this station was so important to us in that war. The war, we had two objectives when we went to war with the humans. One was to capture their homeworld, just to sort of really knock them out financially for a long period of time, and that certainly worked. They weren't able to really do much against us. And the second thing was to make sure that we got this research station. We did actually have that at one other time. For these guys, we're now just trying to get our war weariness down, and then we'll see what happens with those. But we now have to gear up for the fights that will then come against these guys. Now, they, as I said before, they completely smashed us. If we have a quick look at at who's winning, this is the victory. So victory conditions are, they're coming first, the Yagdol Chitin Consortium, back up through here. So you can see there, they've got the most colonies in the known galaxy. There may be other factions that we haven't come across that may have more, but they've got 14 colonies, so they're doing really quite well. Build the most military ships in the galaxy. They're at 90% of that. So they don't have the most, but they're up there. Spend the most time at war in the galaxy. They are spending 65%. I think we'd probably be beating them in that. And capture the most ships and bases in the galaxy. They actually haven't got that as anything, because I think we'd be, again, probably leading in that sort of stat. But this is specifically for them. This is on the right-hand side over in here. So just underneath where my mouse is there. So that's for the Gizarians. You can see there they've got an economy of 3%. So Empire's private economy generates 9% of the galaxy total, back and through there. So they're generating 429,000 credits of the private economy. This is very important, and we won't be doing well with this. If we go into us, we're coming second now. You can see that we're generating, actually 362 isn't terrible with what's happening through there. So our economy is improving. Our population is lowish. The territory we control doesn't really matter that much. But then our race victory conditions, we're doing fairly well. So we've got the two most experienced admirals in the have the most experienced admiral. We've got Admiral Sev 82, who is at 100%, and we've got the most experienced general in the galaxy as well, General Bobo. So we've got both of those. I don't know who that one is. General Bobo. I would have named that from something. I'm not sure what Bobo was from. That was actually Sev. Sev had a character, like when I play on Twitch, we've got a thing called Dazdemption. If you name a character and they get captured or killed, or his ship that gets destroyed, you get banned for an hour. And Bobo was Sev, I think, before we switched him out to become the admiral. So yeah, he's got the two most experienced admirals and generals in the galaxy. Conquer the most enemy colonies. We're at 50%. The Caputus coalition conquered 6, believe it or not. Now that's conquered their own 6 times, to be honest, on one of ours. Here he's saying General Bobo. There we are. So Richard is saying, you haven't covered Sins of a Solar Empire 2. I will be very, very soon. I've actually been just dealing with Stardock to get timing, and I think this coming week or the week after, I'll be really hitting that hard. So yeah, look out for it. It's a great game. So yeah, so it will be. I will be playing that a lot. I've wanted to just clean out Distant Worlds for now, and then leave the decks open for Sins of a Solar Empire 2. Now Now we need to win at least 60% of our wars. The Cyllenia Colonial Empire has won 2 of its wars, but we're at 70% of what we need to have. We've won one war and then had white peace a lot. So I think actually maybe there's only I think we've only technically won 1 of our wars. And then we sort of go on down through there. The next one down is the Daots, back and through this other side. Again, we can look at their economy. Their economy is better than ours. The humans even still have got a better economy than us because they're massive world, their new home world. The Perseus have also got like a massive economy. The others actually now are not doing that well with their economies. Including the Caputus way down the bottom through here. So they're going to be struggling through here. And you can see there that the actual race conditions are different for each faction. Each actual race has got its own set of conditions. Like this one here is, one of theirs is to do the most research treaties in the galaxy. So each faction has got its own thing. The humans, for example, will have perform the most research, and they actually are doing the most. That's interesting. The Mothel are. Earn the most tourism. Yeah, so everyone's got a completely different focus, which is really quite cool. This is interesting. The Cyllenia are really struggling. They've got a terrible economy, which is really quite funny. I might just pop my air conditioner on, guys. I'll just be 1 second. It's going to work. I haven't had it on for a couple of months, a few months now. Right, so that's that sort of gives us a bit of a summary as to where we are. We haven't unpaused yet, but what we now need to do is we need to now figure out how on earth we're going to be able to defeat their ships. And so if we go back in, we've got an ambassador that's sitting here at their homeworld, and so we can actually see what's going on in around their homeworld, and get a bit of a feel for what they're up to and what they're doing. And they've got a hell of a lot of ships under construction here, all prospectors, light transports. Sorry, I've just got a phone call. I've just got to take this. Oh, Michelle, how are you going? Sorry about that was just my sister. Right. So So Aries is saying it's not a real Daz video unless you haven't unpaused 50 minutes into the stream. That's pretty true, actually. We will be unpausing soonish, but we've still got a little bit of work to do. But all of these things are under construction. So there's because we've got our ambassador in through here, so he's here and he's reporting on what he's seeing in this system. So we know what's going on at their homeworld. So we can see all the different stuff. Now, what's interesting here is that the actual world itself, we don't get to see the actual, the building queue. I don't think we do anyway. Like, what's going on here? If we go and click on this one here, we don't know what the actual build queue is, but they're all being built from the planet, which is, like, this sort of indicates that they may be struggling with some resource that they require. If I go into one of these light transports, in fact, if we find something that's half built, there's an ore prospector under construction. It looks like it's almost done. Yeah, it's actually all done. And if we have a look at the what it's got in there, yeah, there shouldn't be anything in there that would be. Oh, there's a resource shortages there. There we go. There we go. So we can see their resource shortages on this world and just see what, are they missing something? It doesn't look like they are. They've got a lot there. Yeah, it shouldn't really be impacting them at all. So that shouldn't really be a concern. But this is sort of what we can see. We can actually start to now have a look at their ships and figure out what's going on. Now they've got, this is actually one of their destroyers. And I think if we just focus on the destroyers, because their fleets consist of equal numbers of destroyers, frigates, and escorts from when we were having a look at it. And the destroyer is, at the moment, their most powerful ship. So if we have a look at it, and we can sort of see in through here that this is the actual ship itself that they're sending in against us. One of the things that's really quite cool about the game is the fields of, like the actual field of fire that you have with the different weaponry. And so I can actually sort of have a good look at this one and think, okay, well, what's at the back through here? And just when I hover over it, it should show up. You see how there's a Maxos blaster at the top and through here with a very narrow field of fire. This is a direct fire weapon, which means that it can't track anything. So it has to be lined up to be able to use it. This is a medium blaster. Then we've got concussion missiles, which fire off the starboard side. So they've got the starboard side missiles there. This is a tracking system. Now that's not going to really worry us too much. We've got another one as well at the back of the ship, another tracking one. So this one can just fire off, and they're all mediums. And they've got an iron pulse blaster in the middle there, which is a point defense. Now that's interesting. The point defense is not the iron pulse blaster. It's not the best. It's not like it's okay, and it can be used to damage other things, but its interception is not going to be fantastic. It's still good, but it does mean that they can disable ships as well. So it covers two purposes. You can see their damage at maximum range. After that, it's got iron damage to engines and iron damage to shields. So it does a little bit of mundane damage against against other capital ships. And then when we get down to intercept fighter or intercept seeking, it's got 16 damage and then a damage ratio of 36.5-ish for what it actually does do. So this is a fairly advanced weapon that it's using in through there. The others aren't. The proton engine isn't. This is actually an old engine. But then they're using iron sheath armor, which is very advanced. So they're using armor which is very, very advanced in through here, which has got a rating of 65, which is actually lowish. But the reactive rating means that every bit of damage that comes in against the armor, you subtract 5 from every pellet, every bullet, anything that comes in. So depending on the weaponry that goes in against this thing, it's going to actually mitigate a lot of the damage that comes in. And then it's also got iron damage defense of 8. So using iron weapons against this ship is almost going to be useless with what it actually does have. It also has Talassos shields. It's got only an 8% penetration chance, this is also an advanced shield, version 2. So they've been able to pick up this tech through salvage or whatever else they've been able to do. And they also have medium hive hangars, which have 8 craft in each of the hangars, which means they've got 16 craft in total per destroyer. So we have to figure out how do we How do we get past their iron defences? How do we mitigate their iron attacks? And how do we combat all the small craft they're going to have? I don't have to worry too much about the other weaponry, to be honest, but the combination of all these things makes this quite a difficult thing for us to deal with. So that's what we're dealing with in terms of the Gizarian destroyers. So if we figure out the best way to combat these, then we should be okay. We can then retrofit our fleets and go from there. So let's just go back out. We'll exit out of this one now that we've just done that little bit of information. The others won't, like this will just be, for example, that one there is just a frigate, and that'll have similar iron sheath armor, Talos shields, same sort of thing, but just done in a slightly different way. So we don't have to worry too much about that one. If we do it for one, we'll do it for all. So let's go across now to our ship designs. And the way I like to set these up is to sort by the role, just so that all of my escorts and anything else, like all the interceptors, etc., are all together. So if we're going to change anything, it'll come through. Also, just to keep a note of what you've already set to do the upgrades manually, because that's what you're controlling. So we've got a few things that we are doing manually. So is this a cruiser, says Rocklight? No, it's just a destroyer. No one can build their own cruisers at the moment except for pirates. So pirates have got the ability to build cruisers. We have 1 or 2 cruisers that we captured from pirates, but that's pretty much it. By the way, if you do want to grab my attention, if you just write @DazTactic, it will actually in the chat. It should then color red. I think for me. I think. Otherwise, I'm going to be missing a lot of. So Rocklight saying 2 fighter bays on a destroyer. Ouch. Yes. So again, from a racial perspective, the Gizarians are very, very good at putting fighter craft on their ships, and their ships as well have got the ability to not, like most fighter bays are only 4, but they've been able to put 2 mediums on, which means 6. So normally, if we tried to do it on our destroyer, like if we got our destroyer there, which we've got set to manual, if we go across and I'll edit it. So actually, I'll do an upgrade and just sort of see if there's anything that does get upgraded. I don't think anything will change. We've only got 4 size points left over here, but this is actually our destroyer. And if we go and have a look, we've only got 1 slot here up to a size of 50 for the hangars. That's the hangar down the bottom there. If I go across into here, now setting this up as well, I wish by default the game actually remembered what you set up, but I always go to the first one in through here is your filter. The second one is your sorting. So when you filter the components, you don't have to do the ship design. I enjoy it, so I like doing it. But if you go into the latest per category and family, because there are, particularly with the weaponry, you've got categories and then you've got subdivided down into family. By sorting it by both, it means that it will keep the latest for each family instead of just filtering it out by category. I don't know if we can see it. If I go to all components and then come back down, we end up with a big long list of weaponry. This is all the weapons we can actually then put on the ship. If I then filter it by per category, we then end up with a smaller list, a much smaller list in through here. But we miss out on some important things. It'll usually just have like whatever the size component is, but we only have 1 interceptor, for example, in through here as a beam. So we actually miss out on actually no, there's a few through there. If I just do the sort, and I like to sort by bay type, category, family, and then size. If I come back down, so no, forget that. We did have a few different ones in through here. Sometimes you'll miss out on stuff, so I like to actually have category and family. It just allows a little bit more. You can see there's a few extra things that have now been placed in there, and I like to have this one just so I've got the choice. So we've got that one through there. Now with the with what we actually have through in this particular instance, we can't really, size-wise, we can't put much more on this particular ship. If we were going to put anything, we can get up to 50 size. This is the maximum size we can put on. If we go down to what we have, actually we don't even have. We've only got docking bays, which isn't going to help us. So we haven't even researched putting fighter craft on our ships at all. For the Mortalens, they're not really that important, so we don't have to really sort of worry about them. So I'm going to not worry about that one. We have other benefits, like we have for example, the large pulse torpedoes have got incredible range, and they do a lot of damage. Now we saw there with the iron sheath armor doing 5, like it would take 5 damage off anything that hits it. If you're being hit by 78 damage, or even at maximum range 23 damage, you only subtract 5 from that, so it's still coming through with a lot of damage. Actually, hitting the actual hitting what's there. So the pulse torpedoes really are going to be able to do a lot of damage. But one thing I noticed when I was watching them fight the humans was that they were keeping back a little bit at maximum range of everything else that was actually on the ship, which in this case pretty much is the pulse torpedoes. So actually, no, I think that these actually would go in a little bit. It was the other craft that were a little bit doing other things. We could switch this out and get rid of a few of the large pulse torpedoes are size 54. The mediums are 36 and the smalls are 18. So there's the 3 different sizes that we have. We have 3 small mounts and 3 large mounts. 4 large mounts on this particular craft. We're only using 2 at this stage in the front. And we are using a 270 mount there for the Sentinel. One thing you'll notice with this one is we don't have any weapons facing the rear of the ship. So if small craft come up against us, we've got no protection against them. So it may be that we actually end up moving one of these out. And actually that one that they use, that iron point defense, was actually much better than even this one here, and I don't have that. What we might do is we might just cancel this and see where that one was in the grand scheme of things. If we just go back into text and just go back up into where they were, can we see this is the advanced iron weapons? This is the iron cannon. Yeah, which was actually no, it's only doing 7 intercept fighter. Okay, it's actually worse. That's the iron cannon. Where's the iron? Can't see it there. It's gravitic weapons. Should have been there, I would have thought. Let's have another look. We've got this is the main weapons that we're using. Electromagnetic defenses does give us the iron shield, which we don't have on our ships. The hybrid plasma weapons, we've nearly stolen this from the Boscara, but not that it really matters that much because ours are better than that. Long range, that's just multi-beam defense. This is buckler repeating blasters. That's the Thuon beams. Oh, hang on, iron point defense, this one here. So they're using this one here, which actually you can see that the intercept fighter is the damage. The damage there is actually 36.57 per second. The fire rate is only 7 seconds though, whereas and that's the difference. It's the fire rate that's actually the different thing where it's going up against the small craft. It's just that they then get the other benefit of this one. I might even flick that in as for something else we want. It's 2 and a bit years to get that one. Let me think about that. Now the other one that we actually have, yeah, maybe we do go that way, you know. Grab this one in here, and is that going to help us? Just trying to find, we've got basic point defense in through there, which is the point defense cannon. It's one of the beam weapons is the one that we actually use. Rapid point defense. That's the buckler. Accurate point defense. This is a sentinel. This is the one that we've been using. It's got a firing rate of 8 seconds. It's actually slower. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this one here because the ability to be able to then disable ships as well, I think, is one of the things that's been helping them. So we'll pay the costs on that one, and we'll move that one above the defense units. So that'll be the next thing we then go and try to get. So we'll actually try to bring this one back in. Yeah, we've got the Thuon beams there as well if we do need them. but we're mainly using these and through here, the pulse torpedoes. And we're using the large with these. So I'm thinking, let's just exit the research, go back in and just quickly go back to ship design again. So the destroyer, if I just go to upgrade, we do need to get more point defense, which means that we probably have to, the only thing I can really afford to get rid of, and I've still got an empty slot in there, another fuel cell would be useful with this. We do run out of fuel a little bit. That's another 10. We've got 4 left over. We do have a thrust vector. I can ditch that. That doesn't really do a hell of a lot. So let's ditch that one. That gives me 10 to make use of. If I go to the rear, I can then replace one of the rear slots with another one of the a buckler repeating blaster, which is only 10 like size. So if I do that and throw one of them at the back, that will then help protect it against the fighter craft. So we've then got like a sentinel at the front and then a buckler repeating blaster at the back. That would do. That would do us. And just to have a look at the difference between these two, we can see there that the overall the damage per second there on the Sentinel does less damage per second slightly, but it does have a much longer range, so that's useful. That is much more useful. So I'll keep it like this, but that gets us right on the 600. So we won't make dramatic changes to what we're doing. We do actually have the big pulse torpedoes are 54, and I've still got 2 more slots in here that I can make use of. If I got rid of one of the 54s, is there any other combination that would be useful to me? I could go Thuon beam, like a large Thuon beam, at 42, which will then give me 12, and I could still keep an ion cannon there as well. Now, we figured out that the ion cannon wasn't going to be all that useful against them, though. So I think I'm going to forget about the ion cannons. Ion cannons disable, that's really what they do. The railguns, medium railgun a small railgun is 13. It's not quite enough for us to make use of that. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it the way it is, actually. We don't have any ion cannons on this particular one. We also then have 2 block armors and 1 Corvidian shields. The block armor is pretty good. This is like racially ours, which is good. So we'll just go and save and exit. This is the Pulse Destroyer version 3. So this is our new destroyer design. We'll go to the heavy escort. We're only using heavy escorts. We've got 104 of them across the various fleets and things. We just go and upgrade that as well. This will be a version 6 for the heavy escort. And we've got 1 more slot left over. We don't on the escorts. We do actually have a sentinel in the middle there, and 1 large pulse torpedo on the front. So we are using the pulse torpedoes here, and nothing much else. So we don't need to do that one. I'm going to cancel that because we don't really have anything else we want to be doing with this one. I don't think there's. Yeah, we don't have, we do have another slot inside it if we needed to. We do have a thrust vector, but just not enough to do with it, so let's cancel that one. I'm pretty sure that the heavy escort, if we just go and edit that one and have a quick look, we can then sort of see that it's got, large back and through there, block armor, Corvidian shields, the multi-lock sensors back and through there. So there's not much else we can do with those, so let's just cancel that. We won't upgrade the heavy escorts, and we'll have a quick look at the frigate. And the frigate, I'm thinking of ditching the ability for us to take over areas. I think we'll now go on full destruction. So let's go and change the 72 frigates that we have, and we've been using these to capture. So we'll go and edit. We'll go and upgrade, and we will make some changes here. So we've got the they've got a buckler repeating at the front and through there. We're right on the limits here. We do have a sentinel at the back. Okay, so we've got 2 there, which is interesting. And then we've got an ion cannon at the front. If we ditch the ion cannon, this was here to disable, and we're going to ditch the splinter pods, which are used to capture. So we'll get rid of that. And what we'll do with this is maybe put in another fuel system, a fuel cell version 2. So that will just give us extra extended fuel range, and it still gives me what's that? Another 12 that I can then go and place. Now, we sort of figured out that really we do want to keep both of these, like the buckler back and through there. If I go for 13, what can I get for 13? I can throw another. I've got a Thorn Beam there at 14. I've got a railgun there, a small railgun at 13. If I just throw one on for now, in this weapon mount that we're not using, so put a small one there. We're one over. Now, if I ditch the Sentinel and replace that one with a buckler, that then brings me back to having 2 point defense weapons, one rear facing and one really sort of covering the front of the ship, but just doesn't have the range. I think that might be okay. Let's ditch that one and get the buckler repeating blaster, which is size 10, and place that in that central. Sorry, in this, which one was it? In one of the rear slots. So in fact, we probably should have had that one around the other way anyway. To be honest, that should have been the Sentinel, and that one should have been the buckler, just because we're most likely going to need to have the extended range. But that gets us to 450. With everything else down through here, we've only got 1 armor, 1 shield on these guys, so we'll save an exit. Yeah, so we're no longer going to be, we're not going to be disabling anymore. We're just going to be destroying. So that's now the frigates. So frigates and destroyers need to be retrofitted, but the heavy escorts not so much. So, and then finally, just the transports. There's nothing new there, so I think I'll just leave them where they are. So we won't actually. We've got 16 of those. Might get myself another fleet as well of those. So that's pretty much all we have to do at this point in time. We'll just go through and have a quick look at the fleets and just make sure that everything is set now to auto. Not so much the invasion fleets that we've got. So we've got the 2 invasion fleets down through here. Now these are both going off. They've got no mission. And that one's full of troops ready to go. This one here is also not quite full. We'll load troops at Abagatu here. So they're actually already back at home. So we'll just get them to reload up with the various troops back and through there. And that will be then fine. The others are all set to defend. And what this means, actually, a few of them aren't. So we'll just go to the 10th fleet and tell it to... we can tell it to actually go and retrofit anyway, but if I just go and set it as an auto-defend role, it will then go back to Bexton's and then figure out what to do from there. So we'll leave that one there. The 12th as well, we'll set this one to defend. And it's set for Goten Spaceport, which is in the middle here. So it will then just go back through. And we can tell them to go and physically retrofit. The 3rd is one of our large attack fleets. And in this case, yeah, we'll set that one. This one's also set for Bexton's, but let's actually now go and set these for the Zero system. So we're just going to give them home. Maybe I won't. I think I'm going to go back to Goten and just get them to use this initially as their home base. And if we set it to defend automatically, they'll then just go off to whatever settings we've got, which is just going to be like engagement range, same system. But they'll go there and then do a retrofit once they get there, which is fine. So we'll leave that one there. The what other ones do we have? We had the 2nd attack force back over through here, which is home base is Flasatu. I'm actually happy to keep it there, just in case the humans get aggressive again. So we do need to keep at least one big fleet back in at the back end through here somewhere. I might switch that out with one of the others, but I'll just leave that one through there. And again, set this one to just to defend. Just double check that we are on the same system. And then the 1st is also now set for, so all of them except for these two are manual, but all of these are automatic. So they'll just go off and do their own thing. And if we just have a quick look through them all, I can actually have this one open and just double check as I go through each of the actual each force. Just to, hang on, that'll then just click on through the 7th, same location, not same system. I might change that to same system at this stage. This is what it's going to defend. Same system. It's the 3rd, same system. Same location is set for the 12th. I'm happy enough for the defense forces, which are smaller, to just do their own thing. All right, that'll do us. So we've got like a lot of stuff. Let's just unpause the game. Finally, How long did that take? 1 hour and 14 minutes. That's a record, isn't it? Yeah, I think this. So the torpedoes do even better the closer you get. Yes. So you do want to, like, we've got everything set to go in close. New frigates are being built. We're under attack by pirates. And all I'm just now going to wait is I'm just going to wait for the automation system to, like, they're just going to go off and do their own thing. So we're constructing new defense forces. I'm just going to go and quickly grab a drink of water. I'll leave it off for now. Now what we need to do is we need to get ready to absolutely smash the Gizarians in one massive hit, I think, because they're going to be a big problem. You can see the 12th Defence Force, even though they're defending at the same location as the Goten Spaceport, the 12th is moving off down there, but Goten is back in here. Not sure why they're doing that. Oh, we may have given them a move order there. Yeah, it was. When we were at war, I did give specific orders to different fleets to end up in different parts of the Empire. But they'll sort themselves out. We don't have to get in the middle of what they're doing. This is one of the great things about this game. I've now got all my fleets except for my 2 invasion fleets on automatic. If I go to the... I know I've set one of the invasion fleets up as auto. This one does need to be refueled, so this one wants to refuel it and repair at Cassiopeia 4. Now, I don't want it going off here to do it, so it looks like we're struggling a little bit for fuel. So we'll need to sort of keep an eye on that. Yeah, we don't need to. All of these messages aren't really important. Okay, so our war weariness is coming down nicely, which is great. Items back over there, we'll just dismiss that one. Up to 61% now of our long-range sensors. And again, I've got the starbase is set to auto design, so they'll just automatically put them on when we get it. And now we're just waiting. And then what we'll end up with is, because these guys are at war with the Daots again, and we can expect that there will be an invasion here at some point. There's all sorts of unknown stuff that's being detected around the place. System maps. We've sort of, like all the fighting, we're sort of finding debris back in the Mortalens system where a lot of the fighting happened against the humans. That's refueling at Epsilon 3 mining station. New escort completed, that's good. So we're gearing up ready for the Gizarians. Down to -2 war weariness now, which is good. Of course the humans are now also getting ready to do things, so they're sort of building up. They've got an invasion force. It's always worth, if you see it, just have a look and see what they've got. 9 infantry on that particular one. So if they decide to attack, we're going to have to sort of make sure that we've got that one covered. Not that they will attack in the short term. There's another fleet that's backing through there. Lots of fleets in there, actually. Wow, actually, these guys are really pushing hard into the human territory. Okay, the Dysum Star Alliance has declared war on the Urian Principality. Now that's... Is that them? I think that's the Urium in through there. Not that it worries us. We're now just going to be focused very much on the Zirae system, getting set up in there and getting ready to come through and absolutely smash what they've got through here. You can see there's now the 10th is back in there. It's going back in for refueling, but it looks like it's also... The health is down a little bit. So that's a heavy escort. That won't be anything. That'll be one of the wars. They would have actually had some problems in there. More ships being completed. Here comes that fleet that was at Zirae, is now moving back in towards their territory. They'll need that for taking on the Daots. We just haven't had enough. We've got a explorer ship back out here, but no fuel. So we don't have any real chance of sort of getting that one refueled. Mission complete, that's good. Territory map of the Dabiar. We've already keep on doing that one, but Shura Duralin keeps on going out and using spy operations to sort of take like a vision of what's going on over this side. Alright. So, new escort completed as well. When all the retrofits are done, if we just go back through some of these, yeah, that's refueling at Epsilus 3 mining station. Where is that? Epsilus. Oh, back over here. Yeah, we've got ships coming in to refuel at that location. I might see if there's any other refuelers that we can sort of grab. I'll just pause for a second. One thing we can do is go to resources back in through here and click on Caslon. We do need more. So there is, for example, in the R system, there is a potential refueling station here, which we already have. Yep, so that's done. So we've got refuelers back in through here as well. There's only this one here. Again, we've got the station there. Need Caslon. The Zirae system. We may not have rebuilt. Oh yes, we did. Okay, that's there. Getting more fuel for there. We don't have a hell of a lot in Cassiopeia Rift, which is why they wanted to go in there, which we don't want them to do. Then we have a system in here which we would like to take. So when we go to war, that will be an important system for us. This will be a major staging point, and we know that there's also going to be these systems in here as well. Now we're not going to have the ability to capture these pirate bases anymore. I think I might even just leave the pirates where they are. Yeah, we don't have that much fuel location, so we're just going to have to wait. What I might do is actually go and build a whole lot of tankers. Just go to my build orders, fuel tankers. Let's get another, say, 6. Just purchase them. That way, they'll just automatically just go out and start fueling up ships all over the place. And they can just go straight into mining at the actual Caslon gas giants. Alright, there goes another first attack force, low on fuel. Let's have a look at a few of the others. That one's retrofitting at Flassatu, so this is good. So we're seeing that it's automatically now got the retrofit. The third is retrofitting at Cantrella 1, back in through here, so it's moving back for a retrofit. Its home base is Goten, it will move back there after the retrofit. The fourth, this is where, like, just letting the game do it, it will find the best spot to do these. There we go, we've got now long-range research location. We don't have to do anything with that because the game will do that for us, but we now have it. So we'll start to see long-range scanners appear at the various spaceports, which will be good, and also at the research stations, ultimately. So we'll dismiss that one. This is awesome. No items detected there. That's okay, we'll just dismiss that. And dismiss that as well. Okay, so we're doing more exploration with everything. Everything else is actually looking pretty good here. So we're now actually going into the point defense. These iron pulse blasters. They're size 12. Which we can't really... I'm just thinking whether I actually pay the extra to crash the program. But I don't think I'll bother. And maybe we go planetary defense units first. And if we go down to those and then click on it, I think I will crash this one, just so that we don't lose any of the research that we've already done. And if we have a look at other things, another thing I would love to get, actually system governance we can now do as well. This one we needed 22%, and we have 23%, which is great. So we need to get this one as well. This one makes a massive difference. In fact, I'll make that one the second one that we then get. System governance. All right, that will be good. That will just help with our economy and just getting everything sort of thumping along. Now we're getting to a point where soon we're going to be able to take over, actually there's another one I would like to get as well. And that is, which one was it? Some of the armor. Our next level of armor is actually quite good. This one in here. I mean, you get the iron sheath armor, which is what the others have got. Yeah, we don't get the heavy armor. The others have already got that, I think. I'm not sure how the others got the iron sheath armor. I think that they've got like their own hex armor, which gives they get that earlier. But that would be a good one for us to try to get as well. We do actually have the block armor that we have is 65 with a 4 reactive rating, but it doesn't give us the iron protection. So I think I'll throw that one in as well into the mix. And I'll pop that one above the system governance. Right, let's continue on. So seeding this in, you can click F+3, then backspace to zoom. If you ever can't find the highlight on the map, yes, yeah, it's we know it's up there. So the first is the 8th is now coming back, and it's moving back to the Bexton's Research Centre, which is actually its home base. I think I'm going to change this one. Actually, let's just have a look and see. These are now the Pulse Frigates version 6 with the 2 bucklers. So so that one has already been retrofitted. Let's actually move it down. So the 8th can come down and be the first of the replacement garrison for Eccles. So I need to go and grab the 8th as a fleet and home base. And we'll just move. If we do a move too, we then have to go back and click on defend. So they are now constructing this spaceport, so only at 40%. We'll just go, how far did we get? We've got the 5th, which is, these are only Pulse Frigates 5. So it's still picking up ships that are a little bit further away. 2 more fuel tankers, a few more. Number 4, we've got the 11th Invasion Fleet. They're sort of fueled and ready to go. Not too bad. I'll just tell them to go and pick up more troops when they can. All right, then we've got the so the 3rd is yeah, wants to do a retrofit. It's going to go off and do that. This will take some time just to do the retrofitting. Yeah, construction 93. It'll be in the process of becoming a Pulse Frigate version 6. That one there, the Invasion Fleet number 6 is ready to go. 5th is still actually the old Pulse Frigates. 7th is moving to a Baglato spaceport. That should then set up where it then does. This is only a version 3, so we'll wait for these things to all be retrofitted. It will manage itself. We don't have to tell it to do things unless we have like a group. This one's retrofitting at Goten. This is the 9th. And its home base is Bexton, so it's retrofitting there. It's going to leave Bexton's unprotected, but we should be pretty safe for a little while. The 10th Defence Force in through here is refueling at the Alciat station, which is back in through here at Goten. So that's and then this one did take a bit of damage. I'll just instead of telling it to retrofit, because it's on auto, it will anyway when it can. Here comes the 12th. So the 12th is coming back in. They're going to be refueling at 03. Actually, what's their Zoom in a little bit and through here. And then pick them up this way as well. Actually, their home base is Goten. I might change that one to to the Eccles as well. So it's coming in for refueling, but it hasn't updated yet at all. I won't put too much down here until they're fully upgraded. There goes the 9th, back to patrol Bextons. I do want to keep some of these defence forces back. But I think we're going to need all the big fleets, all 4 big fleets back in the other place. Here comes the 3rd, which is moving to Goten. And again, these are version 3s, so these are the new guys. So it looks like 3 is ready to go. Let's move this one down to the 0 system. Set the home base. And that's all I need to do. If I have given them instruction, the 12th is now going back for retrofitting because 0 doesn't have enough materials to do the retrofits. So it refueled and then is coming back. The 2nd is still way over here at Mortalens. I'm going to need to keep 1 fleet there. I might make that the 7th. It's still retrofitting at Bakdu 3, which is in the home system. The 2nd, maybe I'll just leave it at Flasatu. That looks like it's now, yeah, it's now version 3s, so it's now got the new design. And our frigates are all upgraded to Pulse frigates version 6s. Yeah, so the Dayots have now taken back over the Chara system. The Mortalens have now declared war on the Dayots as well. So they're now moving off. They can't really get through these nebulas. So I'm not sure what they'll do. But anyway, they've declared war against the Dayots over through here to help their friend out. Yep, so that's happening in through there. See you later, Diamond. Okay, the last storm were eliminated. Now that would be over in here somewhere. There'd be a pirate group that was destroyed. So still got the 2 pirate groups in here. Again, we'll just wait for the fleets to get into position. Now we're starting to see the long-range scanners kick in. So we can see that we've got long-range scanners here, here. We're now seeing the ships as they pass. We start to identify them. There won't be anyone around us that's got cloaking. But we can now track things a fair distance out. Research breakthrough, that's good. Aha, now we found a technology that's given us a research breakthrough in predictive missile defense. Don't know what that is. That's where it was. So this was back in the Mortalens system. Predictive. I wonder where that is. I'm not seeing it in there. Be those. Not sure where that is unless it's a sensor or something. The other thing we might start to look for is got advanced construction down in here. You build one of these in your empire, which we don't really need at this point in time, but the multi-role starships to get light cruisers would be quite nice. It's 8 years for that though. Yeah, I don't know where we got that other one. It's none of those. Thought it might be something in around here. Multi-target management in through there. It's the multi-lock version 2. What does that give us? That's 5 years. That gives us, it goes up from 20% to 30% targeting. But yeah, I'm not sure where the multi-lock actually is. Yeah, I thought it was would be a weapon. We would have just gotten it. It's railguns, won't be those. Would have thought it would have been to do with the won't be tractor beams. Won't be those either. I'm not sure where it actually is. I've got no idea. You can get little, like the missiles that you do get. There's defense missiles in through here, which is the interceptor. So I thought it would have come off here, but I'm not sure where it is. Anyway, just exit the research. Away we go. Okay, so 26k deficit says Aries. It doesn't matter as long as your actual other amount is positive. You keep an eye on it. That is a lot. That's because of the Mortalens homeworld. Like their homeworld is draining a lot of our money. But that's, you can see our money is going up. Look, we're now sort of hovering around the 400,000. So as long as we don't drop into the red on that big one on the left, we should have okay. Diamond's saying, is making design upgrades still a good way to generate some additional income? I don't do it. It's hardly anything there. To the right of advanced containment in weapons. Okay, just saw it says Aries. Okay, where was it? Advanced containment. Oh, we didn't actually get it then in that case. So that's advanced containment. Where was that? Yeah, it looks like we didn't actually get all of it. We must have only just got some of it, I'm guessing. It wasn't it. I forget even now what it was called. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it won't matter. Point deflectors back in through there. Blocking field generator, size 15. It's a full-length beam. The fire rate is important. That's only 4 seconds fire rate for that one, which could be good as well. Anyway, we'll leave it alone. All the way to, oh, hang on, all the way to the right. Ah, there it is. Thank you. So this here is a size 17 close bulwark missile battery. Yeah, I won't worry about it though. Very, very long range though. As a point defense system. That's interesting. Unusual one. The 8th is now moving across. The 1st is still got no mission, waiting on fuel tankers. So they need refueling. These are the new version 3s. 2nd is got no mission as well. And it's, I do need to keep one of these in this region, so I'll keep the 2nd back there just to protect that world. The 3rd is now moving to Eccles. The 4th is the invasion fleets. The 5th in through here is the Defence Force home base back in through there. That is now the version 6s, so they're actually all updating. Okay, we now have planetary defence units, and it will automatically start to build them. Okay, we've defeated more detection, territory map, that's good. So if I just pause this for a second, What I would like to do is just in these outer worlds, just I don't think we can build them as such. If we just go across, yeah, we're going to have to build these separately. So we'll do that, I think. If we just go back to the home world, the facilities we have, we've got the Planetary Defense Center. Yeah, it builds repulsor forces, which allows interception. You don't want very many of them. Robotic troops we don't need. Start a war world, we don't need that either. This one just increases our, like when we're ready to push hard, we can then go and do this one, but we're not going to do it. So we'll go and build one of these. We'll only just build one of them. Maybe we'll build that somewhere else, just so we know. Like maybe here at Baekdu 3, which is also where we're building a lot of troops. Or do we build it somewhere else? Like, do we go maybe even down into a central world like this one here? And do it at Goten. The troop cloning facility there. Planetary Defense Center. If I build them there, I can then just micromanage from here, which I think I'll do. And then we'll build them up and just start to put a few of them around on different planets. Caputus has invaded and taken over Drined. Okay, so they've actually now taken this one, which has got the Teekans, so they've actually now taken that world. So you can see there that these guys, it's going to be hard for us to get the most invasions because they keep on switching planets. The Daots are incredibly good at spying, so we're not going to be able to really, sort of get in the middle of those. Now there's a big, that's a big fleet just going home, unknown ships, but that was one of their fighting forces. Now just leaving our systems. Still got some there. They're probably injured or something. We're now starting to get the long-range scanners around the place, which is great. So we'll start to have early warning systems. Zero hasn't got theirs yet. And Mothlar hasn't. Actually, Mothlar, don't we have a... mustn't have built one yet. I'll just go and build another one. I'm just going to do a long right-click and just build a small spaceport. Should have done that one a long time ago. Decline that. So hi Mike, saying love this game so much, need to relearn it though, too much time away. And yeah, it's sort of one of these things where you can just automate most things. Critical research breakthrough. Fantastic. So system governance, we've got an automatic breakthrough there, which is fantastic. At the R Research Center. Here we go. We encountered an abandoned planet destroyer adrift near Dintaluti 1. If we just go and take me to the location of the planet destroyer, this is one that we saw before. We do actually have an explorer ship that's now coming back in. I think we're going to have to build this. We'll investigate it. We've investigated an abandoned planet destroyer. The planet destroyer is damaged and currently inoperable. However, we could acquire it by sending a construction ship to repair it. This is assembling advanced technology. Eternally, we could make use of it. We'll make use of it. So let's go across. So this is actually this massive ship that we had seen before. So we'll send one of our construction ships across to deal with this. This is our construction ships in through here. We've got something called... I'll just see if there's anything that's close. If we just zoom out, we can then see where the construction ships actually are. So we've got one there. Got one up there. Just see where they all are. Broken Gamble is not too far away. Actually, that one there has got also no mission. The Conspicuous Challenge. So that's the closest. All right, your job is to take this thing. Is to come on in and repair it. It's going to take a long time. So that is good. Just missed that one. Pause. So the fireman's saying, I'm surprised by the lack of beta testing on the game in the last many months. And yeah, see Dennis, and they're focusing on the expansion coming in October. Yeah, that's where really all the attention has been spent in recent months. They got the stable version to a version that that everyone was sort of pretty happy with, and so then sort of moved on to doing the Shakturi expansion. And we're seeing more. Got retro. They're going off for retrofits as well, so they're actually improving as they go. The Dayot has invaded and taken over Driniad again, so that's now fallen yet again. The Dayots are pushing back. We'll just leave them to their own, like they can have their own fights. We've got our own problem or potential problem coming this way. Now, the first is got no mission, just still awaiting fuel tankers, but they are being fueled up quite nicely. So I'm going to send these to Zero, to Eccles. So that's home base. That's at 95% now. So we'll start to just get our forces ready at Eccles as much as we can, and just leave a bit of a skeleton crew in behind. There we go, small spaceport. That one should retrofit itself now up, and then we'll get the long-range scanners in. Tribal conflict. Oh, here we go. So we've got a problem in the down in here. So tribal conflict has occurred at Belieso, a colony of the Agdol Chitin Consortium in the Siracina system. Intertribal conflict has broken out. This has boosted population growth rates for Gizareans throughout our empire, but it has also reduced empire-wide happiness. This is within their empire. We've now lost it. I moved the thing off. I didn't get to see exactly what was happening there. Oh, there it is there, tribal conflict. So empire happiness goes down, population growth goes up for them. Now they should be getting ready to expand again. There goes the construction ship. Okay. That's the 9th Defence, refueling at R4. Come some of the other reinforcements, the 12th. Moving to Eccles, its home base is Eccles, that'll be okay. This is the 3rd Attack Force, again home base Eccles. The 1st is the home base of Eccles. The 7th, where's that? Home base is Abelgatu, we'll send that to Eccles as well. We'll then move off. Oh, 19, where's that? Over there. Now, someone's already built a research station there. So they're getting shield research from this location. This is the Gizareans. Alright, so we're getting close now to I think being able to push hard again. Let's move our 2 invasion forces down. So we've got this one here, almost completely full. Let's go for the home world. So we're just going to move this one down. I think I'll start it at Eccles. I'll just get it to refuel here. And the 6th as well is now completely full. And we'll refuel there as well. So just move those in. And then what we'll do is, once we get going with the fights, we'll leave them off the side somewhere, like just in space, in deep space, to just wait. Now we've only got 8 years now before we have another, before we have our internal things. We've actually now found a group of Quamino. Actually, they're regarding us with some friendliness, which is interesting. So, dismiss that one. We haven't bothered going with any of the, the relationship building texts. No one really likes us. How are we going? Our reputation is now basically 0. So the rust is now dissolved. Yeah, these are all different things we don't have to worry about. We'll just leave them where they are. Let's have a look and see how we're going down in here. There's things coming in. Now that's a human ship. It's got there before us. So they're the ones now, they're sort of repairing this. It's going to take forever for them to do it. I think what we'll do is we'll just keep on coming back every so often and just seeing what they get up to. Or we can send a fleet in just to shush these away. I think I might do that actually. I might just go and attack them with a fleet. There's nothing much else in here. It's all a bit of a international area where everyone is sort of congregated. It's outside of everyone's territory. That's the 1st, the 9th. Now the 9th is coming back in for refueling. The 10th is refueling at R, but its home base is Bexton's. We do need to make sure that we've got stuff back in there as well. So we're still actually waiting for all these retrofits to occur. The 5th is one that we could send off. We've only got one fleet back in this system, which is just the 5th. Technically, we've got the 5th is still showing up there. No fleet showing in this region at all. The Alzuk system has got 3. No, 2. The 13th is at Alzuk 2, and the 14th is at Alzuk 2. Let's send the 14th down. And where's the refueler? There it is. So we'll move it down that way, and then just move them away from that that location. So we've left a few gaps in here. We'll quick look at our fleets again and just see where they're set up. Applegatu, that's the 5th, that's at home base. The 8th is at Eccles. 9th is at Bexton's, that's okay, it'll go back there. The 12th is at Eccles. 4th is back at the R Research Centre. It's refueling at Mortalens 4, which is sort of a bit of a waste. We don't need to keep it back there. I think I might change the 4th back to the Cantrella system. So that's the 4th. Where do we get up to? So that's the 4th back in there with Cantrella. The 10th is at Bexton's. Is that 2 at Bexton's that we had? I think that was it. 10th is Bexton's. 13th is Alzuk 2. Again, that's an extra one there. The 14th is at Alzuk 2 as well, which we don't need. Might move the 14th across into here, which will then hopefully free up this one a little bit. That's the 14th, and Third is going to Eccles. Seventh is going to Eccles. Second is going to Flastu. That just stays there. Don't need that one. And the first is going to Eccles. Okay, so we're moving our forces now down towards the coming attack. So we're going to put some pressure on the humans here. We're just going to do a bit of a raid. This will impact our standing in the galaxy, but we don't want anyone else getting this thing. It's got no mission. It's just going to stay there until it's ready. It takes forever to build these, so long. So it's just a matter of just being there. We're not going to do it in this session. Now there's a strike force sitting back in through here. Look at the actual. We've got 2 strike forces there. 3,000 strength, and what was the other one? 4,000 strength with just a handful of ships. Compare that to like our first fleet. All of those ships is worth the same amount of firepower. Wow. Yeah, when we get going, it's going to get hard. It's going to get very hard. Hi, Korosami, how are you going? Yep, it's saying the Shakturi update looks fantastic. It does look very good. Hi, Skedek, how are you going as well? Now, we're going to have some problems getting across. We are going to have to take this system. It's a long way off. Our fuel range is very, very poor. That's the 14th. Just wait for them to refuel, and then they can just go off and protect the planet destroyer. There they go. So they've now they're going back for retrofitting. I don't care about the retrofitting. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to make this into now a manual, but just by telling it to go into here, it will then change it to manual anyway. So I'm just going to go across and just move it to the planet Shatterer, and that then becomes now manually controlled. So we'll wait for that one to get inside that nebula and get to that one there. I don't have anything back at Goten, but we will see, like, once we get this thing retrofitted, and it seems to be struggling with it. That's only an SSP2. Let's retrofit that one up. Yep, that's all it's building. That shouldn't be too long, and that way we'll get the long-range scanners. Okay, we're still pulling apart things back from the previous war. So they're fueling up in here as well. This is going to be a hard war. They're actually neutral with us. God, do we try to befriend them? They like the Dayuts. But no one else that we know of anyway. Junior is saying, is there a way to restrict your explorers to your territory? No, there's not. Except you can by turning them off auto, and just you can tell them to do certain things. Yeah, they're restricted by their fuel range, basically. I'll just move that one across, dismiss that one. If we find one of our explorers, they should be a little further afield. I think we've got one still in here somewhere. Yeah, so this explorer in through here is on automation, but if I go and click on it, there's different things. We can sort of, so manually control, we can auto explore. It's fully automate, will just do anything. It will auto scout systems or auto spy on enemies. So they're the different things we can then get it to go and do. So it's essentially it's just exploring at this stage though. So it's just exploring the various elements it's finding in through this other location as well. These different asteroids and things from this destroyed planet. So we'll wait for that one and then we'll chase that one away and then finish off the build ourselves. Here they come. Finding more pirates. Just got a house rule of not dealing with the pirates at all. And I'm surprised that no one's declared war against us. Right, in we go. So thank you for your good work helping us. But we'll take it from here, thank you. I don't think the Mortalens dare do anything against us at this stage. So our explorers are still finding other things around the place, and even our mining operations that we've got are discovering that there's other things around the galaxy. We still haven't found the home worlds of some of these. We don't know where the Dayots actually live. They must be in here somewhere. Don't even know where the homeworld of this one is either. But I wouldn't mind sending someone out to talk with the Dayots, like an ambassador. Okay, must be getting close now. Here they come. Excuse me. Guess we've got more bouncing in. To attack the planet shutter, I want it to attack this constructor. Attack the worthy trailblazer. So we'll just go and do that. And same location just means it's going to be close to this. Okay, that's now disappearing. You can take over this job. Now that's going to impact our reputation a little bit just by doing this one. So we've started to do it. It's now trying to escape. We don't need to continue this anymore, so we'll just move this one back out till we see a fleet. Come on, where's the fleet? And just stop. So we can just sit there. Just move it to the planet Shatterer, and that will be its job, was just be to stay there. So we'll decline that one. This one now should be building. and it will then start to the process, or continue the process of taking this one on. And so it sort of works in reverse of when you pull something apart. So you can see there we've got like the oh, here we go. So I'll just pause that. The Yagdol have declared war on us finally, but just when we're just ready for it too. Isn't that perfect? Isn't that absolutely perfect? So they're going to be coming through. Now we have to think, what do we want to do? If we go and grab, like, we've got a lot of fleets in here. We've now got the long-range scanners in here. We'll see them unless they come from a weird angle. They could get into the middle systems here without us seeing them. We do actually have the 10th, which is moving up to there. We've got the 9th, which is already at Bexton's. This one is set to go to Bexton's. So we'll move that one down to Goten. Where's Goten? There it is there. Home base. And we'll just tell it to go and refuel at the Goten spaceport for now. We do actually have the Planetary Defense Center now built as well, so we're just going to go into Manage Troops, and we want to build a few of these. We don't want too many of them, so maybe sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 will do, and we'll start, once these are built, we'll then start to bring them around into various other planets. So I'll probably just build a single ship just to do that. Now what we want to do is, with our fleets that we actually have in here, we've got like a lot of fleets just sitting here ready to go. Once everyone's fueled up, we can then start to push forward. So if we have a look and see, we've got like a whole, like squillions of ships in through here. We either wait for them here and try to destroy their ships, or we go off and try to take their home world. So I don't know which way we should do this. So if we go back to the first is fueled. How far can it get? Just get there. Like, this is the fuel range, this is the jump range. The other thing we could do, if we really needed to, would be to, you know, I think we just go for it. But the second is way back over here, protecting the rear. I think I'm happy with that. The third is also in here. Also, like, we just need a little bit of fueling to happen in through here, but that's essentially going to be able to get there as well. The fourth is like, these are the invasion forces. So we'll need to move them into a position off to the side, and then we've got the worlds that are in here. You've got Yagdol 4, which is their home world. There's not that much there, but there is, like, what's the population? 8 billion. And then they've got another world here, I think. Yeah, another 5 billion there. That's shape of, actually, is that their home world? No. Unknown. They've got Hive fighter bases. So again, they've got heaps of these fighter bases around the place. But this is this is a refueler. So we can actually take that one. All right, we're going to have to plan this a little bit. We're going to need to protect the system here, but we also have to go in and try to dominate them. Oh, what to do? The fleets that we actually have through here, we've got like we've got a fair few different fleets. We've got the 3rd Attack Force there, the 12th Defense. The 12th Defense, the 7th, the 6th, the 11th, the 8th Defense. I've got 2 Defense Forces and 3 Attack Forces. If I send all the Attack Forces to their system, along with the invasion fleets, we should be able to then take what we need. Let's do that. Let's leave one of them behind. Let's send the 1st and the 3rd in. And we'll leave this 7th along with the others, and we'll use the 7th as a bounce in if we have to at the back end. So let's send them all in. So what have we got? We've got the 1st and the 3rd are going to move straight into the home world. And they're still trying to build in here. Yagdol 4. Is there anything else we really want in this system? It's really just this one in here. Alright, let's send the first to here. So to destroy that one. So the first has now got an order to go there initially. We want to sort of see what's in here when we get here. We've got the shape for spaceport. This is going to be a little bit tricky. We'll send the third in against that one. Actually, I might send the third in. You know what I might do is I might send the first in to capture this. It's only got one. It's got one cruiser here, which like a pirate cruiser, which has got the boarding assault strength. So let's just tell it to go and capture Yagdol 6. But what we'll do is we've also then got the invasion forces. We'll get them to come in and finish off that one for us. So we just need to get them all into the position first. So let's take this part of everything initially. So we'll go in. We do want to take this out as well. What have they got on this one? They've got troop cloning facilities, armor barracks, high fighter base is going to be the hard one for us. And we do need to soften this right up. So we want to get into the system first before we do it. So the first is coming in. First is going to capture Yagdol 6. Third is got no mission. It can destroy this one to start with. So just attack that one. The seventh is we'll send this one in against this spaceport and just see how we go. They're gonna have to contend with the fighter craft. You know, I don't want to do that just yet. I'm going to send the seventh in here as well. Sorry, they're still back there. Seventh is going to wrong one. Got a long way to go. We definitely need to get that refueling station set up. Hang on, first and third. I was keeping the second back, wasn't I? Yeah, I was keeping the seventh back. So it's only the first and the third that go in, along with the invasion forces. The invasion forces initially we just want to sit out in space. So I'll move across to there, and the other invasion force as well. We'll just leave them both just sitting back in through here. All right, their fuel range is much higher than the other fleets. And we're seeing different groups coming back in. All right, let's unpause and wait and see what actually happens. Now we've got an incoming fleet detected. So the 17th Strike Force, an enemy fleet of the Yagdol. Now the 17th, I think, are in here. Yep. So they're coming in. That's the 4,200. They're coming in towards the Eccles spaceport. I'm going to wait, and this is what we wanted to use the 7th for. But we've got 3 fleets. Essentially, we've got two defense fleets and 1 attack fleet left over to protect the Zero system. So we'll dismiss that one, and we'll just wait. We're going to get a lot of these sorts of things happening. We then have to make a choice as to what we're going to do here. Now we've got colony corruption reduction is going to give us more income, or we can go with war weariness reduction. I think I'm going to take the war weariness, because I think this will take a little bit of time to settle. Patriotic wave has now occurred, so we now have abilities associated with that one. So population growth goes up as well. All right, here we go. So the plan came together just at the right time for us, actually. Now there's another one of their fleets over here. 13th Strike Force is off doing something else. We don't know what. It's moving in to attack somewhere in here. And off go the various fleets. Now there is another refueling point back in the Botian system, I think, which we could take, which would be fairly useful for us. And it would also be useful to see if there was any other research stations we could take as well. Yeah, there's different mining stations in around the place. I don't know where all these are coming from. Don't need to know about them. So Ares is saying, I hope you have some point defense to counter those fighter bases. Yeah, we do. We do. But the fighters are going to be fairly debilitating for a little while. The 17th is now moving in. That will then actually, what we might do is we'll see them arrive here. We'll start to see some dots appear as our fleet sort of leave. We'll be passing them. They should intersect us, because these are going to bounce off the Botian system, I believe, and the other ones are coming off the other one. They may be going actually even off this one in here. The jump range was just a little bit too short, but they're going to be able to do a single jump. What we might do is we know where they're heading. We know that they're heading in towards the spaceport. So let's just go and get all of our ships. Well, they're sort of in position anyway. So this is the 12th. If I just move back out and just go and grab the 12th. Come on, give me the actual 12th. That's the 8th. I'll just do it group by group. Just move that one across to there. The 7th will move in front. This will be interesting to see what actually happens with this fight. And then the 12th, and I'll leave these. I'll sort of micro these a little bit when things actually happen. But these are now all set up with their. These are now the version 6s with the two bucklers. You know, these are the point defense weapons. So it'll be interesting to see what happens against their pretty strong forces. We should see them. Here they come. So they're intersecting us, and we're now picking them up on the radars, coming through into our long range scanners. Now they happen to just pass the fuel barge, which actually did identify them again. And then as they get closer into our long range scanners, they'll start to take shape. Here they come. We're now identifying where they're from. We haven't identified the ships yet from the long range scanners, but we know exactly what they are. Here comes another big group, another invasion force. So this is a strike force that we've now actually no, wasn't invasions. I thought we just saw an invasion group coming in. There's no troops on that one. I thought I saw an invasion symbol in here. So we're going to have wave upon wave of their ships attacking that system, but we want to take out their homeworld. So we've just got this mining ship. There we go. Our border's just increased from Eccles. Yep. Now we're picking up the strike force in here. God, they don't have very many ships for the amount of power that they actually have. They've got 64 fighter craft is what they've got with just that little group there. So we're going to have to destroy them as much as we possibly can. God, these are annoying, all these unknown items. I forget how to filter it so that they don't show up. Filter to 12. This is all the messages. It's not the pop-ups though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember how to do it. So, Ares is saying, back in the day when I was playing Distant Worlds 1, I remember making extensive use of massive refueling tankers to project power deep into enemy lines on long campaigns. The logistics aspect was so much fun. Yeah, it sort of has that now with the tankers. The tankers are more automated. There's two groups coming in. There's actually the 17th and something else, the 9th as well. So they've got a lot of firepower coming in. They've just taken that border back. It's mainly we're gonna have to check to make sure that there's no invasion forces coming in against Eccles. Here we go. This is the next wave. Okay, this is another one that's now been conquered. Mothalar have invaded and taken over Cerulux. So that's the humans have now taken this one. That's interesting from the Dayuts. All right, we've got our own problems. So they're coming in now. We want to. I'll probably put this on half speed so we can really analyze what's happening. We've still got a long way to go before they hit their homeworld. So a lot of this will be over and done with before anything actually happens. Okay, incoming fleet detected towards the Eccles spaceport. They're trying to take the spaceport down. I want to see if there's an invasion force coming in here. We need to see this. We'll find out fairly soon when that one hits. We'll come back out for this one because we've now got the fight now coming back in. We've got good defences in here. Even though we've sort of stripped out 2 big attack fleets, we do actually have a fair bit going on. So we'll micro this battle. We don't have to, but we will. And just watch what actually happens in here. So they're now moving into position. Right, so here we go. They don't have that many ships, but they're going to have a lot of fighter craft. This is all their fighter craft now launching, the different bombers. I'm going to wait maybe a little bit, or maybe we just send everyone in to take out these ships. So yeah, there's a lot of ships coming in. So we've got the, what was it, the 7th? The 12th is one of these as well, isn't it? If we just go back out, I'm just going to put these into, the 12th doesn't have, I'll make this one control 2 just so I can actually quickly access it. We've got the 7th as well, which I can access, and the 8th. So they're all, I've now got these into shortcuts, and we can now start to do things. One thing I want to make sure with this is that we don't run. So I'm going to go and change the tactics. Actually, if I go and just go to a single ship from each area, this from the 8th, just go across, and we want this to only maybe run away when 20% of non-defense components are damaged. So we'll do that one across to all ships in the fleet. So it's been applied. This one is part of the 8th. That's the 7th. Change that one to 20 non-defense components. That way we stay in the fight for longer. The other one's good if you don't care so much. But in this case, we really want to damage them. Like this is now something where we need to do a much better than what we've done before. And so we just need to make sure that that was the 7th. I'll just double check. Yeah, 20. That's fine. So with that, it just means that we're not going to be running away. Running away is fine if you've got enough strength to keep on bouncing back in, but in this case we don't. So we do need to wipe out what we need to wipe out. So I'll leave everything where it is until we start to see things. They're going to move off and do their own thing anyway. Here comes the next group. System governance has now been researched. That's good. Let's have another look and see if we can identify this next group coming in. Yeah, we can. There is an invasion group coming in. Second invasion fleet. With heaps. So this is actually going to be our main objective, is to get rid of these. So the other bits are just there to soften us up, but this is actually the damaging one for us. So we've got a real challenge on our hands here. We need to wipe out as much of this as we possibly can. I think we just go in and do what we have to do. They're all going to congregate here when they do come in, but it's going to be massive fights. This is why we do have to now fight to the death. So 7th, we'll just start to set these up just to attack a single ship. The 8th as well, just get these across. I'll just get them focusing. It won't really matter what we focus on, to be honest. And then the 12th, and we'll just watch what actually happens through here. So the long range pulse torpedoes are going in. All of their small craft will then come in, and we want to see what happens in here. Its shielding is coming down eventually, but now we have like all these small craft are now coming back in. The pulse torpedoes, the pulse where is it? The pulse defenders and stuff will start to do their thing. Now this is actually the 7th. I'm going to go and grab back to the 7th and make sure that they set themselves to tight, just so we can get the point defense working a bit better. The 8th back to tight. So I am really micromanaging this one. You don't have to do this, but we'll try to keep everyone so that they stay cohesive, which should be fairly important. We're going to have a lot of these different things coming back through. Incoming fleet detected, yeah, against Eccles. So they'll be coming in at this angle. I probably should have left my other fleets, destroyed everything I possibly can, because we may end up with an open area here. Now, where are their bombers and things going? They're attacking the big destroyers, Supreme Hammer. Still, you can see our shielding is really poor on all of our ships, which is why we sort of have to stay in the fight. How are we going here? We are bringing things down a little bit, but we need to do more. So we'll just watch what actually happens in here. I can sort of zoom this down to see, get a bit more of an angle. Fuel tanker under attack. Coit 5, that's one of their systems. So one of our fuel tankers has decided to try to pick up fuel somewhere else, which is not a good idea at this stage. Now that there is a destroyer which is basically in big trouble. So we're going to end up with a lot of ships in big trouble here. But oh, that's one of our heavy escorts, is it? Yeah. So we're being smashed here. Gizarians are really, really hard. If we just go back to the 7th, we now need to top up with ships. We're getting all sorts of ships being injured. The other two smaller fleets aren't really being targeted much. The 7th is being smashed. To do as much damage in here before the other ships come in. Hyperdrive is offline. Here they come. Right, so here we now have the invasion forces coming in with all of their fleets, and they're going straight for the planet. They're going to have to pretty much take out the spaceport before that happens. But we have other things we need to do. So we'll go at the 8th to move across into... Now we have to just ignore their large ships. So they've got these big destroyers, which really we just can no longer focus on. We now have to go after the invaders. We'll attack the 8th with that one. The 12th we'll have to go to the other side. Whoops, where are we? Now let's see, destroyer. Yep, that's got two invaders in there. That one's the closest. So the 12th, you can start to focus on this one here. So we need to wipe out this invasion force before they can really do much. The 7th now just has to stay in the fight. I'll have a quick look and see if we can... Yeah, there's another good one. We'll attack that one with the 7th. They're right on top of it. Some of them are coming through. Some of them are broken past, but these are just going after the spaceport. It'll have to protect itself while we do the damage in here. It's these ships here that we have to destroy. There's a general on board this one. General Mugap. The 8th, how are they going? So they're targeting... Where's their target? We've bypassed that one. Let's go back up this way. We need to focus on the on these other invading ships. Again, you don't have to do this, but this way at least I can sort of stop them from getting past. Yeah, we've got that one there. We've got this one here. That one's coming in that way. That one doesn't have anyone coming in. We'll get the 7th to go up against this one here. And just as we have a look, that one's been targeted by a lot. 7th is actually targeting that one at the moment. Okay, pause. I might just go to half pace. That way we can sort of see things happen a little bit more directly. These are not invading ships. It's just a destroyer. They're going to try to take this out, and they're past us in here. But we need to focus on these. And in one sense, while they're doing that and destroying this, because they need to get that one ready for the invasion. It's trying to jump out. It jumped out. Okay, the 2nd. Take this one out. We're not damaging them very much, unfortunately. Like, they are breaking through here. 7th, where's the 8th? Got to make sure no meaningful forces get past. Still heaps coming. Attack the bitter mandate. Yep, there goes our starbase. Second, come on. There's another group, but that's being targeted by the 7th. It's trying to escape. The 8th. Still back in here. You can see there we're losing in here. Military ships, we've destroyed 3 of their ships. They've destroyed 8. And 1 base now as well. God, they're hard. They are overpowered, I've got to say, I think. 12th, how are we going? Losing a lot of ships. Let's top them up again. Try to get more back in the fight. That one's still got the order to attack. 7th, how are you going? Top it back up with more ships. It's not working, it's not working. That's trying to escape. It is disabled. Alright, you need to come back with more to get more of these. I think the 12th is going to be struggling here, so let's just attack this one. How's the 8th going? The 8th was sort of out on a flank. They're not too bad. They've still got cohesion. And they're attacking the bitter mandate, I think, yeah. So they've got the attack going on the bitter mandate. It's now turning. So we've got a few ships attacking that one there. It's just one of the big destroyers. That one's now going back to repair. That one's turning back. Okay, we've turned the invasion fleet around. They're moving back out. Wow. Okay, that was a big battle there. That was a monster, but we did manage to save the planet. So we've got a lot of forces on the planet. So it's going to take a fair amount for them to actually get us. Now we've got another fleet coming in towards Eccles. Show me. Okay, so what else have we got coming in? We no longer have the long-range scanners, so we no longer see those. Our ships are still on their way. They're still moving. 12th fleet. Yeah, so we've just spotted this fleet with our ships as they came through. So they're actually moving past. They'll just bounce out of here. This won't really bother them, but these guys are now moving in to attack as well. So they're moving into our position. We've been decimated. We could have kept all of our fleets back in here just to protect this system and essentially wipe them out, but we've only destroyed 3 of their ships. They've destroyed 25. All those explosions we saw was our ships. But we do actually have a lot of their ships left over here. So the 8th is now struggling a fair bit. I'll just let them do their own thing for a little while now. Fleet detected. I read that one. It's my pirates station. Okay, we've got hardly anything left here. Troop transport is under attack. God, we've taken damage here. Oh, hang on, here we go. Oh, that's it, Cetus. It's just bouncing in. So they're in trouble as well. These guys are bouncing off this system in here. I probably should have sent them in here to follow them, not sent them off in a different direction. These will ultimately escape, but these have actually just happened to bounce right next to a base, a mining station, and somehow we've actually lost One there somehow lost the lost its shielding. Oh well. Things are not working well. Things are not working very well at all. Well, it's sort of now a bit of a stalemate in here. What we need to do is I think we now need to bring the old second fleet back in to protect this system. So they're way back over here. Yeah, they've got invasion fleets and things. They're not really heading our way, I don't think. So I'm going to take the second from in here and move them back out to the other group. It's interesting, the 12th Defence Force, that's the one that's supposed to be... Oh no, that's not it. Oh, we're building ships for them here. That's what it was. The second, I'm going to move the second out of here. Oh, it does leave that one completely open. That location, we've only got the 13th Defence. This location, then we've only just got the 10th. The 10th is actually still technically back on the other position. We've got one at Cantrilla, and not one there as well. So, so we don't have any spares. The two extras that we had have all been used up. Let's go to the 8th. Top them up with new ships. The 7th. Top up with new ships. The 12th. Top up with new ships. And we'll just go back to the old second. And I think I'm going to have to... I don't want to leave. I don't want to move it away from here. I don't want to do it. What can we do here? Yeah, I'm going to have to do it, I think. What I'll do is I'll move the 12th, that's the current 12th, into protecting this system here. Their home base can be there, and we'll just set them to auto to defend. So the old second, I'll move them back to being the second. I've just used my keyboard shortcuts. So second attack force, control 2, and we'll move them out to Eccles. I can only just get there. Now that's not going to be good for us because they're going to wipe out this location. Let's just tell them to refuel there to start with, and their home base will be Eccles. Okay, so we're going to be sacrificing a lot of those as well, I think. Anyway, in we go. We've got the other groups getting ready to come back in. The 8th, yeah, will sort of end up trying to fix itself up. Yeah, so there's constructors coming in. They're just going to be looking for the loot that's actually now left over everywhere. Just got... So this is actually a group of the Actarians that have come in to pick up. They'll just pick up all the treasure. We won't be able to get back there in time, I don't think. So we're still doing stuff. Yeah, I've only destroyed 3 ships. That's really, really bad. There's a ship underneath there. At least that'll be 4 ships we'll have had destroyed. Ultimately, I hope. Construction of a new frigate is now completed. Okay, so we're going to get a few of these coming up. What I'll do is with Eccles, I might send the spaceport on the other side, move it over to here somewhere. Let's try building it there. Alright, well, they're running away. We're moving back into their system, and we'll see what actually happens with these fleets. Hi Thomas, saying good afternoon Daz, good to be back in Australia from my overseas trip, just pop in and say hi. So yeah, well, that's good. So yeah, the temperatures are heating up in here now, which is sort of nice. It's heating up in the game as well. New escort completed. So what we'll do is we'll probably find that there'll be another bounce back in with the various... So we didn't destroy much there at all, unfortunately. That was really bad. I thought we would have been able to stop a fair few of their ships Maybe we do have to put some other iron cannons on different ships. We'll see what happens when we get to their homeworld. This could be interesting. Don't need to see those. We don't have any long-range scanners now in the Zero system. So when they come, they're just going to arrive and we're not going to know. Yeah, they've got an attack going in against the base that we had there, which I don't mind so much. They tried to take that once before in the last war. If we can take their homeworld, though, God, that would be good. Yeah, Rory's saying it seems like the best strategy is to let the AI come to you and then counterattack. Yeah, well, it's sort of, they didn't have much left over in here. So we'll see how we go. They also don't have long-range scanners. So if we can take their homeworld, that's a massive, massive win for us. But then they're going to have all sorts of other fleets around the place. So we're going to have to sort of then protect it. Frigate completed. Yeah, we're seeing different fleets arriving. Again, very, very strong with what they have. This one is getting its shields back up again now. Nothing's coming back into zero. Now the first is going to be interesting. This could get really, really tense, this next portion of the fight. Because we need to take that refueling station. So the first will actually come in to try to capture it initially. The second are going to take out the other mining station. But that was really just so we can see where to go, what to attack. Now it's interesting that nothing else is coming back into the Zero system. Here we go. There's more coming down this way now. Yeah, so that's the 12th that was in Cetus, and they're now moving their way through. Here comes the first. Oh, sorry, we're on half speed. Just go back up to normal. So I was wondering, gee, they're going slow. Fuel tankers are being attacked, so the fuel tanker's already in there. They'll have to move out of the way. They've come in too early. So they are going to be pushed away. I'm not exactly sure where they are. So we'll just get everything down. I'm going to now grab the 4th and tell it to also capture this, because that's the only way we're going to actually get this mining station. The 3rd will appear over here. Now we should be intercepted. Not yet though. Interesting. Here they come. Here comes the interception forces. Now we just want to weaken this one a little bit and then go back and wipe these out. So now this group here, this is the defense force, which is, if we just go back out so we can actually check it out. It's also got 4,000, it's got 48 fighters. This is really difficult for us. It makes it really hard. So our first now has to move around. So let's now go and deal with these guys. So the first is really whatever's closest. So we'll just go and attack this one here. These small craft will we have to really sort of destroy as much as we possibly can. Might go back to half speed again. Now there's the third fleet. Now this is another fleet that's just come back in. Is this the... No, this is a different defense fleet. Where's the third? Oh, they're up there. No fuel. So they've come in against the 4th defense fleet. I'm going to move them straight down into protecting, to helping with this. But I think we're out of fuel here. This has actually not worked out well. I don't think going in against this one now is viable. I think we're screwed. I think we actually are now really screwed here. I think the best thing is for us to go back, because we're not going to be able to do this. We don't have the fuel to maintain this, I don't think. I'll see how I go for a little bit longer and just see if we can somehow... They're just too powerful. Yeah, we've already... So we're still losing more and more ships. We've got 4 of theirs now, but we've lost 36. I think we have to just go. I don't think we can do this. So back home we go. Back to the 0 system. I'll just tell it to move and refuel here, because we're going to be out of fuel now as well. Ah, boy. Okay, well, that's disappointing. This one's basically out of fuel, so it's going to be limp. This one's going to take forever to get back to the 0 system. I'll just tell it to go back that way. It's dangerous, because if we lose that thing, it will then not do anything. And that means that my actual capture ships need to go back home again. Just move that one back there, and then that one as well. Let's get them out of there. Wow. So we're now left with not much left. Let's just see what can escape from here. What sort of damage is done. We should try to figure out what's doing the damage as well. Like, is it the small craft, or is it the big ships? And I feel it's the small craft. If we have a look at these light bombers, it's attacking this this destroyer here. And if we focus on these things, we can actually go and look at it from their perspective. This one, we are attacking them, but it's we can actually go and view freeform. Where is it? Is it just is it Control T? No, Control. Is it B? Control B? Shift B? Yeah, this is a bridge view. This is a bridge view of that particular light bomber. So if I now deselect it, we're now following it through the actual combat. And we'll watch what it actually does. It's a bit hard to see. Here it goes. It's now moving around. It's trying to get its angle. It's following in our ships. We're seeing some point defense. Actually, we just destroyed it. That was good. So we did actually have that one there. So that bomber was destroyed by the sentinel beam from this particular ship. Let's just go out. If we press, is it T? T is top-down view. Tab is different angles. Let's view some of these other small ships. And then... was it Shift B again? Control B? Yep, this is the bridge view of this one here. So spinning it around, coming in behind. Got point defense coming back through again. We're seeing debris. And it looks like it was now wiped out as well. This is hopeful that we're sort of seeing these. I might just, I'll just go back into top-down view, tab. Then just get this one in the right angle, which is there. And we'll just watch it from the actual angle again of this particular attack. Actually, it looks like we've gotten out of there. We've got a an escort. Oh, that's one of theirs. We've got ourselves a disabled heavy escort there. The third is now leaving as well. So it looks like we're actually going to make it out. Yeah, okay, they're all out of there. All right, that's at least the ships are surviving. And then we're just left with some debris in through there. So what have we've got 5 ships now. We've got 1 extra ship. But that's not good. That's not good at all. God, what do we do? How do we do this? I don't know what to do here. Donna's saying this is the time that the Athenians got eaten by crocodiles trying to cross the Nile. And Maria's saying, hey, I didn't think I'd ever catch you play Distant Worlds 2 live. Yeah, well, I'm actually going to have to pack it up now, actually. We've been going for 3 hours. So I'll have to call that a fail, what we've just done through there. We did defend Zirae initially, but we're now going to have wave upon wave. If we have a look at the 7th is getting better again. They've got to come back to Eccles. There's hardly any of them there, so we need to get a fair few of them back. There's still an injured ship there. We might just tell the 7th to attack that ship. Hang on, let's just kill that one off. So we do have some of the 7th have now gone back into the system. This thing is still being built. It's only 11% construction. Let's go back to normal speed. But I think we're going to find that there'll be an actual full-on attack coming in. Let's just wipe this one ship out, get our score a little bit more respectable. But I'll call that a loss, and we're going to have to figure out different ways of somehow tackling their ships. I feel it's their bombers and things that just end up ripping through us at the back end of things. Is that one moving? Yeah, that one can move. It's still damaged, but it can take this one on. It's only got 1 pulse torpedo. It's only a heavy escort. Comes one of the big ones. Incoming strike force. Okay, that's going against the Smuggler's Cave, which is an old pirate base, which I don't care if it gets destroyed. This one here is badly damaged as well. So these are all remnants of the previous attacks. Does that one have any weaponry? Yeah, it's got one pulse torpedo that it can use. Okay, we are picking up different loot and stuff around the place as well. Treasure recovered. These guys are just going around picking up whatever they can, whatever salvage. This thing doesn't have enough. It doesn't have any fuel, that's the problem. And this one here probably the same. No, that one's got the fuel. Wow, God, we got smashed. We got absolutely smashed there. This one's part of the 12th. Whoa, here we go. So we have another fleet now coming back in just to finish the job off. So this is the 12th fleet, their 12th. $9,000 strength, 112 fighters. No, we're screwed here. We do get fusion ignition. That's interesting. From we found. How did we get that? Was that from Shirajiran? Yeah. Okay. So Shirajiran has now evaded detection to get fusion ignition from the Frapicupia Vanguard Coalition. So that was a spying operation, which now gives us Nova Core reactors. This is actually very, very good for us. So yeah, we'll now be entering a new phase because of this fusion to ignition. What it does is it frees up our design. So I might just finish it off with a bit of a show of what's going on there. Rocklight's saying, on an unrelated topic, have you played Dynasty Empires recently? No, I haven't looked to see if they've come back to develop it. I won't be playing that until the devs come back, basically. I think that they will, but I don't know when. I think it'll take some time. Just based on, I know that it's a passion project of theirs, but I think that it's just became overwhelming for them to continue doing it for a little while. So I think that they're probably just, I think they're going to have a very extended break. Now we do actually have this attack going in this way as well. We've got different forces coming in, so they're all over the place. These guys, they are literally everywhere. But what we just picked up is, if we go and have another look at what we have through here. Oops, cancel that. Where is it? It's further up the top. It's here, yeah. We've got this one now. So is this going to be helpful to us? It's got an energy output of 120. The best we've got so far is 74. So what this means is we probably don't need to have two reactors on the ships. So if I just exit that, it's sort of like it's a bit of a sort of stuck on its own there. But they are better than this, I think. Yeah, pretty much overall, they're fuel to energy ratio. Yeah, so I think that this is something, if we exit the research there and then just go into ship designs, just have one last look at this. If we have a look at the Pulse Destroyer, for example, and just edit it, we can't override this one, but if we have a look, we can see that we've got 2 fission reactors, which these are 22 size each. So if we have a look at the actual reactor usage, we need 2, but we could possibly get away with 1. We can get away with 1. So if I go back and cancel that, and then just do an upgrade, like if I click on upgrade, it's still at 600 because it's still using the fission reactors, because these other reactors are a bit unusual. But what we can do now is we can go and ditch one of those as an example, say that one there, which then means we don't have enough. If we ditch both of them, we no longer have enough energy for anything. But if we now go back into those other reactors, where are they? It may not show up because this is actually a previous tech level. If we go into all components, we may have to micro this a little bit. Nova Core Reactor, there it is there. It's only size 18 as well. If I grab one of these and pop that into there, it actually, one of them does everything we need it to do. So the Nova Core Reactor saves us a hell of a lot of space. It saves us, what's that? It saves us 26 extra space. We've got like heaps left over. We've got 26 more that we can put on this beast. So so when we have a look, we can then think, okay, well, what else do we want to have? We can certainly run the extra weaponry there, and we've got the hyperdrive covered, so everything is actually pretty good there. All we have to do now is just figure out what weaponry we want to put onto it. So we've still got a few different spots in through here as well. We've got another pulse torpedo. That's 20. What have we got? We've got 26. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about what to put on this one, but the wave bomb. Don't think we want that one. Yeah, I won't worry about that one so much. I mean, do we go with more small, like more intercepting as well? Like we've got another, we can put another point defense on through there if we wanted to. The buckler repeating blaster, for example. And then put another, like other small weaponry, or we can do something a bit more meaningful. I won't save this, but that does open things up for us a lot. to just get more firepower on our ships. We can't do anything else with our armor or shielding, really. Yeah, there's nothing else we can really... We do actually have the small hangars we can put on at 25, but we don't really want that. You can see there the hive hangar is something we stole from the Gizarians. They've got like 4 fighter capacity, but we don't... That's not going to help us. So it really is what other weaponry can we use? And it's probably going to have to mean maybe sort of more iron defense. If we have a look at the... if I just go back down to the latest per category and family again. Now that we've got the other one back in there. That in just... What have we got? Point defense. I sort of wouldn't mind the iron point defense, but yeah, anyway, look, I won't worry too much about it. Got the bullet missile battery. This one here, the fire rate is slow, but it does do 4 shots per volley, so it does sort of head off all over the place. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe another buckler at the back. That gives me 2 bucklers at the back through here, which then leaves me with 16. So I can go back for something like a railgun or a Thuon beam. Probably just a Thuon beam. Small Thuon beam, that just adds more firepower to the front. That takes us up almost to the limits. But I won't save that. But that's by getting that Nova core reactor. That does actually mean that we can get more protection on this particular design. Is block armor racial? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's just for us. Anyway, I'll cancel that. But anyway, guys, we'll actually have to leave it there. So thanks for watching. But that was a fun little session. It didn't work out the way we wanted to, but that's actually fun as well. We did manage to protect the system from a massive invasion, but there will be more on the way. So, and they're certainly going to be dominating this system. We do have a fair bit of protection on the world, but it's not going to be enough to really protect it properly. So we're going to have to come back in with other fleets. We do have the second on the way, so it was moving back into position as well. Anyway, I will leave it there. And so Rocklight's saying, where are you playing this one next? On Twitch or YouTube? That'll be back on Twitch. So possibly tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe tomorrow. So yeah, I should be playing more of this particular one on Twitch. So we'll continue the series there. I wanted to just do a one-off YouTube video to sort of show where the game actually currently is, I guess. Which is, it's fairly polished with what it does do. See, how are we going with our planet destroyer? Do we have any movement on that? No. It's going to take forever to build this. Like a hell of a lot. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.